Hey, Cousin Sal here, bringing you an exclusive FanDuel Sportsbook offer for the big game. All new users are getting an exclusive 55-1 odds boost on either team to win the big game. Max bet $5. That means you could turn a $5 bet into $275 if your pick wins. Sign up today at FanDuel.com/Sal.
21 plus and present in New Jersey. New users only. Must wager on designated boost market. $10 first deposit required. Max bonus $275. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, Cousin Sal here, bringing you an exclusive FanDuel Sportsbook offer for the big game. All new users are getting an exclusive 55-1 odds boost on either team to win the big game. Max bet $5. That means you could turn a $5 bet into $275 if your pick wins. Sign up today at FanDuel.com/Sal.
21 plus and present in New Jersey. New users only. Must wager on designated boost market. $10 first deposit required. Max bonus $275. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
At DBS, you can study in Dublin city centre or online. Choose from over 100 industry-led programmes. Programmes designed to fit your life now and help you create your future. Realise your ambitions. Apply for a full or part-time course today at dbs.ie.
Bosch Home Appliances offer the easy way to perfect results. Our Bosch Autopilot ovens with preset recipes make family favourites a perfect success every time. Upgrade to PyroClean for the ultimate convenience. Or the Bosch IDOS self-dosing washing machines. Save up to 38% on detergent with one fill for 20 washes. With Which award-winning products and reliable local service teams, it's no surprise Bosch is Europe's #1 major appliance brand. Check out the full Bosch range in-store or at euronics.ie.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Welcome to Sporgy, the show that gives you half-ass sports fans giving their half-ass opinions. And now, here are your hosts.
We're back. Welcome to Sporgy number 141. I'm Chris.
I'm Rich.
I'm the Iceman.
And Antonio Brown's lost his mind. We'll get to that. But what do we want to start with, gentlemen?
Lost his helmet.
Yeah. Oh,
mine must have been in the helmet.
Damn head was in it.
That was one of those days where, you know, I like the internet because the meme you shared in our chat, Rich, was my favorite with the guy in the old timey helmet,
the leather helmet.
Yeah,
Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown showing up for practice with his preferred helmet.
Yeah.
Well, but yeah, there apparently is a rhyme to or a reason to the madness for the NFL, as much as there ever can be. So we'll get to that. But
yes.
Yeah, figured we would at least touch upon a little bit of baseball here. I mean, it looks like, you know, got a bunch of divisions pretty much locked up, unless somebody has a historic fall off. You know, the AL East, Yankees have got 9.5 on the Rays and 18 on the Red Sox.
Ooh, wow! What happened in Boston?
World Series hangovers, Titletown hangovers. Got a little too big for their britches.
Guess so.
I mean, on top of that, you got the Yankees playing out of their fucking mind, dude. They got 80 wins. I mean, the only team them and the Dodgers are tied for best record in the entire MLB. Astros coming in second at 78. I mean, that's, you know, what the next 71 for the Braves and 72 and 71 for the Twins and the Indians, who are pretty much neck and neck, with the Indians looking pretty hot last 10 games, who went 8-2.
Hey, don't forget, my Tigers are way out front.
You know, sometimes you're so far behind in a race, you actually think you're in the lead.
Yeah. They could win every game till the end of the season and probably still not make the playoffs.
There's nobody worse than the Detroit Tigers right now. They're in front, damn it.
Yeah, literally.
I mean, only because the Yankees are in their division. The Orioles are 40.5 games out. But the Tigers are 35.5 games out with a worse record. So, I mean, that, you know, that's got to tell you something. I mean, nobody's more than 26 games out in the National League. So looks like the National League's got a bunch of parity while the American League's got a bunch of garbage. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and say Todd called the Orioles to be the biggest dumpster fire this year. But, oh, shit.
Yeah, we did not see this coming in. We knew it was going to be bad, but we're hinging on historically bad in Detroit.
Yeah, and I mean, there's been stories that have come up about different things that have happened behind the scenes. I mean, of course, you had the Castellanos beefing with the entire franchise, really. I mean, it got to the point where he was criticizing the ballpark. He was criticizing how they handled his contract. You had the general manager going, I tried to trade him last year. No one wanted him. I've been trying to trade him this year. No one wants him. He finally gets traded to the Cubs. Looks to be going, pretty well for him out there, to the point where John Madden says that, or not, is it John Madden?
It's Joe Madden.
Joe Madden, sorry. So, see, football, even when we're talking about, it's so close, I can taste it. You can smell it. But,
and that's why he looks like Brett Favre.
But yeah, Joe Madden, saying that he came in and he realized that, because I guess he gave an interview in Chicago where he said he was so young when the Tigers were contenders, he just kind of took it for granted. Now that he's seen how bad it can get, he's appreciating the fact that he's playing on a team that's contending, that has a shot.
Hey, thanks for that, fuckface.
And, Joe Madden has basically said he's been like a shot in the arm to wake up a lot of the veteran guys who are just kind of like coasting, because here comes this new guy in and he's like, hey, look where the fuck you're at. This doesn't happen every year, And unless you play for certain franchises from the start to the end of your career, this doesn't happen every couple of years. It could be another 5 years. It could be never again do you get a chance to get to the playoffs, to get to the World Series.
Could be another 108, Cubs fans.
So, I mean, I guess good for him if a change of scenery is what he needed. But, I mean, kind of wish that could have had that here. But, I mean, with the contract that he was wanting, no. That'd have been a Bobby Higginson situation. There, or if you're too young for that, a Brandon Inge situation where they give him a contract, he doesn't play to the contract, and all the people that used to love him and sing his praises absolutely shit on him because we gave you all this money. When really you gave him all that money because that was the only thing close to a star you had on the team.
Yeah, it was someone to get people in the stadium.
I mean, that wasn't that way with Inge, because Inge played with some fucking giants on the team, during his time here. But, I mean, it was that way with Higginson. So,
or Miguel Cabrera, whatever.
Well, Cabrera, they had to tie up long term or they were going to lose him. And they knew that, they lose him, they're going to lose asses in the seats. I don't think anyone predicted he was going to fall off like he has. I mean, they were talking, he's going to hit 500 home runs. He's going to blah, 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 this and that.
Huh.
I think that's very debatable whether he's going to fucking hit 500 home runs at this point.
I was thinking about this the other day with Stevie Y coming back to Detroit for the Red Wings, and that, Lions might get somebody, they got Matt Patricia, but somebody big name to come back to the Lions. And I started thinking about the Tigers. I'm like, y'all need Jesus.
Like what? I mean, some guy named Jesus from South America? We start there.
You need some. Y'all need Jesus.
You play shortstop.
There's no saving that franchise right now.
Well, I mean, look, he's played 17 seasons. Last season he played 38 games. He had 3 homers. He's played 104 games this year. He has 8 homers. All right.
Wow.
He's at 473. I mean, is he going to just all of a sudden have a breakout season and bounce back? I mean, he's 36. He's built like a fucking, he's what, 6'5", 6'4", like 250 pounds. I mean, he's a huge man. Your body breaks down. And what were you going to say, Chris?
I said, he's 36? I thought he was a couple years younger than that. Jesus.
No, he's 36. Oh. And, I mean, let's be honest. We know I don't know if this is known nationally as well as it is locally. He does like to drink, and that does beat your body up. Someone on this podcast might know something about that firsthand.
That's what I've heard.
Well, it wasn't me. I thought it was like the Michael Jordan special juice. I didn't know.
But I mean, I'm just saying, it's. So I mean, 473. Yeah, he could hit 500, but at this point, is that going to be that big of a deal? I mean, I'm sure fans will come out to see it. They'll probably do what they did with Bonds, and they'll try to keep him off of road games if he's close to it, so he does it at home. But I mean, at that point, he's just become a circus sideshow, hasn't he?
Yeah, well, and if he keeps on the pace he's on, he's going to need 3 more seasons to do it. Think he's got 3 more seasons in him?
20 years total. DHing all the time. And I mean, it seems like he's going to either be hitting singles or home runs. And the home runs are going to be few and far between compared to what they used to be.
Like, we're scrolling into VMart. No, go ahead, right? Ice.
You said he's starting to look like Babe Ruth without the home runs.
He reminds me of a cross between what we've seen here in Detroit with Singlio Ordonez when he stopped hitting home runs and just started hitting singles, and VMart.
Yeah,
Victor Martinez, as far as he has no speed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if he gets to first, unless you got Ricky Henderson batting after him, hauling ass in his prime, or somebody that's gonna hit it in the gap or put it in the stands. If it gets hit on the ground, he is dead nuts, caught out, flat-footed at second base.
Yeah, at what point does this turn into VMart again, where it's just sad? Like, VMart's last 2 seasons, he should have retired before him, honestly. He spent most of them on the IR, and when he did play, it was not good.
And by the way, he has led the majors in grounding into double plays 2 years in a row. That was 2012. Let me see here. 2012 and 2016. He had 28. He grounded in 28 double plays in 2012, 26 in 2016, and he's had 15. He's done it 15 times this year. I wonder how many times he's been caught at second base. I'm not seeing the stat for that, but yeah, I don't know. It doesn't look good. Let's just put it that way. So there's his situation, and then we find out behind the scenes that I believe it was sometime last season they could have traded. Who's the pitcher that's injured right now they had such hopes for?
Shane Green?
No, they traded
him.
Fulmer.
Yeah.
They could have traded Fulmer for Bregman and got Bregman when he was still under, I think, like 3-4 years club control as he was an up-and-coming player, which is supposedly what they wanted to do. They wanted to get, someone they were going to have a lot of club control over, get them at a lower price, and bring them up through the system. I mean, if that's an accurate report, what the fuck? What happened there? What fell apart there? I mean, because if you look at what what they got in the Verlander trade, how's that working out for you?
Yeah.
So
we've already gone through the bag of baseballs.
I mean, at this point, they've. I hate to say they've been doing well for themselves, because here's the thing: they really haven't. But they had like back-to-back wins for the first time since what, May? Like the end of May. Like, I'm dead serious against the Royals, and then now they've lost 3 in a fucking row. Dropped 2 to the Royals, 1 to the Mariners. So it's just, at this point, the talk is, are they going to eclipse the, 61 Mets or 62 Mets for the overall worst record in the history of baseball?
See, what I had read, I thought they were at the win total right now at 35. Am I wrong?
35 wins right now? Yeah, they're at 35.
Well, no, I thought 35 was the worst But too, that could be. I gotta look up modern era, don't I? Yep. No. It's so the Cleveland Spiders. 1899, they went 20-134.
Okay.
But we're lining up to be the third worst. If we win no more games right now, we would be the third worst team ever.
And we hold two of them positions in the modern era, right? 2003 team and this year's team. If you took out Cleveland and you just had the Mets having the worst at 120 losses, the 2003 Tigers at 119, and we end up at like 118, 117, wouldn't that put us third worst in the modern era?
What record? Sorry, I was reading.
Like if they go 118, 117, somewhere around there.
They'd be the fourth worst because the 62 Mets were 40-120. They are the fourth worst of all time. Oh, number 2 in the modern era, the 2003 Detroit Tigers.
That's what I'm saying. 119 losses, right?
Yep, 43-119. And yeah, and Cleveland Spiders still worst.
Well, I guess
you got to bust 130.
I guess Ken Burns and baseball historians will be excited to talk about the Cleveland Spiders. I don't think most baseball fans even know they fucking existed. So we can take them out of the equation is what I'm saying. Talking about them is like talking about, what Jesus' neighbor did to piss him off one time 2,000 years ago. There's a shelf life to this shit, and, I've reached it when we're going back into the 1800s. You got to remember, Tigers were an inaugural team in the American League, and that was 1901. So,
yeah,
they got a long history, and bookended by historically bad years. It looks like
awesome.
Because what? They'd have to win 8 more to tie the 2003 team, right?
Yeah, and it's August 13th. Not sure that's happening.
And if they only win 7 more, they tie the Mets. And if they only win 6 more, they go worst in the modern era.
That's possible.
Yeah, buddy. Is it wrong to hope the Orioles just fucking flat out tank and just don't win another one?
They just stop showing up. Yeah, we're done. We forfeit for a month. We're starting vacation early.
Well, I mean, the little bit of good news that they've been trying to pump into Tigers fans locally is apparently the Tigers farm system is now rated 6th in Major League Baseball.
Great.
So does that give you hope for the future?
No.
Exactly, because how many misses are there in professional baseball?
How many people are in the farm system?
Oh God! Well, you got the rookie teams. There's 2 of those. You got the low A, you got the high A, you got the double A, you got triple A teams. So I mean, do the math.
Can we bring them all in now?
Well, aren't we a few years removed from hearing about how Kansas City had the best farm league in best farm system in baseball, and what they get out of it? 1 World Series, and they're back to the basement.
No. They went to the World Series twice.
Won it once. Now they're back in the basement.
Yeah, one World Series.
Well, that's why I said.
Not for nothing, I would settle for 1 World Series.
Well, that's why I said, man. Like, if they were going to base this rebuild on any team, they needed to base it on what the Astros said they were going to start doing come the 2014 season. Now, if you're a Tigers fan and you don't know what I'm talking about, hunt down the article. It was in Sports Illustrated. Max Scherzer was on the cover. It was before he went to free agency, and the whole cover story was Max Scherzer and how he's betting on himself. But in that issue, there's an article on the Astros and how they're doing their rebuild. And they said in 4 years they want to be in the World Series.
And they were.
And they won it. So, yeah. But, yeah, the only division it looks like in the American League, at least, that's up for grabs is the Central Division with the Indians and the Twins. Like I said, Indians went 8-2 in their last 10. Twins are 500 in their last 10. I don't have a dog in this hunt because I hate all the teams in the Central except for the Tigers. But I really hate the Twins because of 1987.
Yeah.
So fuck the Twins. Just fuck them. Like, the only time I felt bad for any Twins fan is when I heard Kirby Puckett died so young. I was like, that's sad.
Whoa, Kirby Puckett's dead?
Yeah, years ago now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think he had a stroke or a heart attack or something.
Well, if that happened any time between the age of 25 and 30 for me, it's a little hazy. And Todd called it about Cleveland. He said he saw Cleveland win the division, and here they are, tied for first with what, month and a couple weeks left?
Yep. And let's see here. I want to check the... Okay, so... We have... No, I want... Why is it not giving me what I want? Thank you. All right, so we have, as far as division leaders, you got Houston, Yankees, Minnesota.
They're tied.
Okay. And Cleveland and Tampa Bay look to be, yeah. So basically, it looks like whoever doesn't win the Central and maybe Tampa Bay or Oakland. Boston's 8 out of the wild card. You get the Cubs, Dodgers, who I don't think anyone's catching in the AL West, or NL West. Atlanta, and you have Washington and St. Louis. And the one that I think is interesting is the Mets, because they've been playing, just in my opinion, flat out above their pay grade. They've been 8-2 in their last 10. They're 2 out of the wild card spot. I mean, there's Milwaukee, there's St. Louis, but I mean, in their division, it's Washington. And let's be honest, Washington has a habit of folding when they least can afford to. So, I mean, if they have some head-to-head games and the Mets win them, yeah, that could be bad news. That could bump the Mets up there. So,
yeah, but they're still the Mets, so there's that.
I know. I just got a soft spot for them from living in New York, and I will never root for the Yankees. So that's just all there is to it.
Hey, what was it? Was it 2006? Was the historic collapse? The Mets, they entered September in first place and they ended up missing the playoffs. Like, they just collapsed.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, Jon Stewart had a historic meltdown regarding those Mets.
Yeah, don't let Steinbrenner hear that, Rich. He'll pay you enough to make you cheer for him.
He's dead, so... He can pay the edge of my ass as I show it to him walking out the door. Unless one of his family members is going to break me off a fat ass check. How about this? Give me ownership stake in the team. That way I can just replace everybody in the front office with everybody in the Tigers front office.
He'd do that shit too.
You're like, yeah, we're just cleaning house. Everybody pack your shit. We're going to hire everyone who works for the Detroit Tigers, put them in the Yankees front office. And they'd still probably win fucking another couple World Series in my lifetime. Of course they would, because why not? That's how it works for fucking teams like that. That's why they're the evil empire.
Evil Empire, the best record in baseball.
Well, see, here's the thing also, dude. I don't... any sport, pick a sport. I don't think it's necessarily the people, the coach, the team... general manager, it's the owners. If you got enough money to back your team, you're going to win.
Even in the salary cap era?
Even in the salary cap era.
Well, there's no salary cap. I mean, there's a luxury tax if you have over X amount as far as your payroll. They tax you, and I think they put it in the pool, and they're supposed to split it up amongst the other teams. But to be honest with you, I don't know how that works. Exactly. I just know that for quite a few years there in the 2000s, it was like the Yankees, the Red Sox, Tigers were pretty much, for at least the late 2000s, every year over the spending limit. and having to pay, tax to the league on that. So
who do we see winning the whole thing?
The Astros have a shot.
I'm sure the media's dick is hard for a New York, LA World Series.
If you're going just by records, that's who it looks like. I mean, to me, it's a little. This is reckless speculation trying to call it this far out.
Reckless and irresponsible.
But I mean, you got to remember, man. Like, how many times in the last 20 years have we been at this point in the season, and every expert is just shitting all over the AL Central? Well, they're just going to be, first round fodder. They're going to be this. They're going to be that. And then how many times did those teams end up in the World Series? White Sox, Indians, Royals, and Tigers, with the Royals and Tigers having multiple trips to the World Series in the last 20 years, have all been in the World Series from the Central. I mean,
it's a fair point.
Worst division in baseball? Maybe not. Maybe it's just they beat up on each other more than anybody else in baseball. I mean, let's be honest here.
Literally and figuratively.
How many times has it been a 3-team AL East? Yankees, Red Sox, Rays.
True.
Blue Jays and Orioles, when was the last time they were relevant?
The 80s?
Angels haven't been relevant since the early to mid-2000s. Mariners, yeah, okay. Rangers, they're like the Bills of baseball. They just love going to the World Series and losing.
See, Nelson Cruz is long gone in Texas.
Yeah,
those days are over.
Athletics, for all that Moneyball shit, they never got to the World Series. Yeah, the Astros got there and won, but I mean, they also had basically a historic turnaround in a very short period of time. One of the worst teams in baseball to first.
LA has a habit of choking once they get into the postseason.
Yeah, that's the thing. Haven't the Dodgers been to the last 2 World Series and not won?
Yep. And I mean, if you want to talk about, the Central, the NL Central, I'm not comparing the Cardinals to the Patriots, but I've learned, don't ever fucking write the Cardinals off until that last fucking out of that last game they're playing that season. Because they just have a bad habit of just being a thorn in somebody's side down the stretch into the playoffs. And if you're a Tigers fan, in 2006.
That's really the only other division that looks up for grabs besides the AL Central is the NL Central. You got
like I said, it's going to take the Nationals falling off, the Braves falling off, and the Mets playing as hot as they are for anything to really change in the NL East.
There's 2 games separating the Brewers from the Cubs. The Brewers are in third.
And to be honest with you, I think the Braves are for real this year. Even with the Shane Green trade. He lasted, 4 games as their closer, and they're like, yeah, okay. Thanks for that. That's another one Todd called.
Tigers are like, we told you. You still wanted him.
Well, I mean, Todd called it. He was like, hey, look, when Green's out there and he's closing for a team that the wins really don't matter, yeah, he's great. You put him in there in a pressure cooker, he's going to fold like a fucking, like a sheet. And he did. And it's like, well, can't really fault, can't really shit on that. I mean, he iced that one, so.
It's moving in our territory there, Earl.
Yeah, by the way, he didn't know what
he could have it in a major league.
By the way, he didn't know what your nickname stood for. He thought it was a Top Gun reference. I was like, Earl's gay, but not gay enough to name himself after the most homoerotic movie in the world.
Negative Ghost Rider, the pattern is what?
But
it seems like the only division where it is over is the NL West. I mean, it's the closest competition to the Dodgers is 19 games out.
Yeah. I mean, that's
that shit is over. Might as well put the little Y or X by their name now.
Well, mathematically they haven't locked it up, but it's one of those things like, okay, all right. Like, we all know who's not going to be the Democratic candidate for...
Yeah.
We got to play the game. I understand. You got to play the game, but let's be honest here. We all know how the game ends.
Yeah.
That type shit.
It was Colonel Mustard with the candlestick in the library.
But, all right. Well,
sorry. Wrong game.
Yeah, we just need to keep an eye on baseball here as we're coming down the stretch, because we're getting close to that time of year where the games really, really matter. So,
yeah, and unfortunately for us in Detroit, baseball season ends September 8th. At least this year.
Yeah, yeah, and hold on.
Enhance.
Just print the goddamn thing.
September 8th or August 31st, depending on if you're a college football fan.
That's true. That is true.
Just saying. So, all right. So, anything else you guys got from any other sports there?
Do we care about the Field of Dreams game?
What exactly is the Field of Dreams game?
Your response is no.
Have you seen the movie Field of Dreams?
Uh-huh.
There's a legit baseball diamond out there. And what was it? The White Sox and the Yankees?
Yes.
Are going to play a series or a game? It's got to be a series, right? Like a 2-game or 3-game series or something?
It's part of a series, but it will be one game.
Okay.
It will be the leadoff game in the series.
All right. So, yeah. They are, excuse me, they are playing where they filmed and built the stadium in Field of Dreams, which to me is like when they played at Wembley Stadium earlier this year, the Yankees and the Red Sox.
The question I have to ask is why?
Try to get asses in front of a game to pay attention. I mean, I don't know, dude.
I mean, this is coming on like the Winter Classic.
They won't be playing on the same diamond, though. They'll be playing in a temporary 800-seat ballpark.
So they're not even playing on the same field as Shoeless Joe Jackson walked on?
No.
Oh, fuck it. I ain't even thinking about it then. No, I don't care.
You mean Ray Liotta? In that who played Shoeless Joe? you realize that wasn't their ghost, right? I'm just saying.
Oh, no. I thought it came out of the corn. Oh.
Kevin Costner's dad didn't play catch with him for real at the end of the game, all right? Just letting you know. Oh,
spoiler alert.
Yeah, for a 30-year-old movie. Yeah. By the way, if you haven't seen Bull Durham, Nuke LaLoosh goes to the majors, Crash gets cut, and he breaks the minor league record for home runs hit by a catcher. And the movie ends.
If we're going to start talking about Kevin Costner
Spoiler alert.
baseball movies, are you kidding me? The Perfect Game. Watch it.
You mean For Love of the Game?
Yes.
Where he's a Detroit Tigers pitcher? Yeah. Pitching his last game? Yeah.
Oh, it was such a good movie.
All right.
Well, anyways, real quick, is there any other baseball shit, or are we moving completely on?
That's all I had.
Okay.
Sporgy. ChristopherMedia.net.
Hey, everyone! Vinny the Frog here down at Aquazone in the Sport Island campus in Blanchardstown. Come and enjoy tropical wild water fun. Aquazone is open daily this summer, just minutes from Junction 6 on the M50. Book now at aquazone.ie.
The Jaguar I-Pace is setting the pace for electric vehicles. Winner of the 2019 World Car of the Year, World Green Car of the Year and World Car Design of the Year. To celebrate this treble win, we're offering €3,000 off all Jaguar models, plus a free 3-year service plan. Set the pace. Book your test drive today at Conlon's Jaguar Nace. Offer available until the 31st of August.
They always say you should seize the day. That's today, not a week next Tuesday. So if you've been dreaming of a new car, upgrading your house, or a wedding that'll wow Instagram, now's the time. And if you've a great credit score, Avantcard's offering Ireland's lowest rate on loans over 20k. Dream big, live now. Apply today at avantcard.ie.
Lending criteria, terms and conditions apply. New applications only. Info correct 10th of July 2019. Source ccpc.ie. Avantcard Act. Trading as Avantcard is regulated by the Central Bank of Ireland.
Adventure is calling in 53 Degrees North, Ireland's largest outdoor adventure clothing retailer. With everything needed to get outdoors in every weather, for every activity, for every adventure this summer. And in-store expert advice to get you started. With everything from wetsuits and kayaks to tents and hiking boots. Visit us in store in Blanchardstown and Carrickmines or online to get set for adventure.
ChristopherMedia.net.
Sporgy. Ice, you had an interesting take on one of the Venus or Williams sisters.
Serena, yeah, sun setting. Sun is so setting. The kid has totally just killed her game. She has pulled out of another tournament. And if I want to quote another baseball movie, Serena, there's no crying. No crying in tennis.
Actually, there's a lot of crying in women's tennis.
Yeah. Come on, you're the tennis expert. You should know this.
She was literally crying on the court.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I've seen, I cannot remember who. There was a women's tennis player that got stabbed on the court. There was another women's player who like completely destroyed her knee on the court and let out one of the most blood-curdling screams I've ever heard at a live sporting event. I mean, like I said,
I understood that.
It's not because they're women. If someone stabbed John McEnroe, his ass would have probably fucking screamed and cried too. So
I'm saying I would have cried if I fucked up my knee on the court. I'd cry too. She's chilling on her chair on the sideline, crying.
Well, it was for back problems. Can I also bring up this? She's 37 years old.
Yeah, she all done.
The sun should be setting.
Yeah, and that's not exactly... Tennis isn't a sport where you're usually at the top of your game for your entire career.
Yeah, how many 40-year-old tennis stars you know, Ice, that are dominating the sport at 40?
Well, there is... Okay, nobody. No.
I mean, it's yeah, sure, they still have matches and stuff, but it's like, Andre Agassi's going to go out there and maybe have a charity match, but he ain't going to be going out there like he going hard when he had the mullet for the Nike commercials.
Yeah. He's not going to play like Agassi in 1990. That's over.
He can't.
Right. Yeah, no, she just... it's getting the reminiscent of Jordan playing for the Wizards. It's kind of like, dude.
Come on, just quit.
Well, I mean,
it was good to see him soar one more time, but then just be like, yes, I was just kidding.
Yeah, but I mean, this is maybe not a bad subject because as we are getting older, people that not our heroes when we were kids. Like, I just listened to another podcast the other day and realized Kirk Gibson's 70.
No, I looked it up. He is 62.
Oh, that's it?
Yes.
Oh, shit. I thought he was literally 70.
He's 62 with Parkinson's.
Well, yeah, so that's like 85 in human years. But, I mean, I was going to say, I was like, God damn, Kirk Gibson's 70? But, I mean, these are people that are around our age, that were coming up when we were in our prime. And we were watching them, and, we all had that asshole friend that was like, I could whoop that bitch's ass in tennis. And it's like, dude, you haven't even held a tennis racket. What are you talking about? And I
don't even know what the rules are, dick.
She'd hit the ball at you, you wouldn't see it.
You just feel it bounce off your empty skull.
Yeah, I remember when people were talking about Serena, not so much Venus as much as they were Serena, and they were like, well, what's the big deal? So she hits a tennis ball hard. And I was showing people, look, this thing is coming at you at 120 miles an hour, but it's a tennis ball. It's going to hurt.
These same people probably think they could take a hit by Ray Lewis. Just saying.
Yeah.
If I threw a dodgeball at you and hit you square in the face with it, you would be mad. And that is a rubber ball filled with air. Okay, tennis ball is a lot harder than that. Okay, so
if I threw a tennis ball at your head and hit you in the face, you're going to be fucking pissed.
I've given people a migraine in a pillow fight because I hit them too hard.
That's what I'm saying. If she hits you in the face with a tennis ball, you're going to the hospital, and prayers and good faith and all that shit needs to be sent your way.
She hits you in the face with a tennis ball, you're going to be like Nicolas Cage in 1997. You're getting a new face.
I take my whole face off.
You're going to wake up, they're going to hold a mirror, and you're going to be like, who's that? But no, I mean, like, well, we talked about Vince Carter, right? He got re-signed.
Someone actually signed him.
Yeah. Didn't we talk about this last time?
Yeah, he's in Atlanta.
No, I thought he was talking about he wanted to play, but somebody actually signed him. No shit.
He's in Atlanta. He's a Hawk.
You know, I mean, we talked about
Jaromir Jagr. We looking dead at you.
Well, I think Jagr's kind of done in the NHL, to be honest with you. And I don't think it's because he's incapable of playing. I just think it's because he's done in the NHL. There's no one going to be like, yeah, we value speed and youth in the NHL now, and he's only got one of those.
What, no one wants a 48-year-old forward?
He's like 45 years old.
Hey, Chelios was 48 when he retired. I'm just saying. And I bet you there was young bucks out there, rookies playing against him going, oh, God, please don't let him line me up on a suicide pass along the boards. You know what I'm saying? So, and by the way, I've seen pictures of Chelly recently with his shirt off. I still ain't going to fuck with that guy, okay? It is ridiculous. He's like, no one that old should be built like that. Seriously. They just shouldn't.
He's in his mid-50s and whoop that ass.
On that topic also, I was talking to Chris, Rich. We were talking the other night, me and a couple of friends, about the greatest people and positions in football and everything. And, you know, names dropped like Dick Butkus, Mike Singletary, you know, people like that. And I'm sitting here going, you know, Lawrence Taylor. I said, if any of these people played today, they would be kicked out of the league and never allowed to play again for doing exactly what they're known for in history.
Well, yeah. Dude, the rules of the game have completely... We've talked about this ad nauseum, man. Football ain't going to be football in another 20 years. Not the football that we grew up with. It's barely recognizable now.
I'm almost 90% sure that I'm going to be ice here and now and call that in 20 years it's going to be a flag football league.
So in other words, the NFL is going to just hemorrhage money and become like a sport for pussies to watch, because I don't know anyone who's going to tune in to watch that shit. Like, I'm dead serious.
We're so close to it now.
Well, okay, look here. I got hold of the entire so far run, all 3 seasons of the 30 for 30 movies that ESPN put out, and I've been watching a lot of them. And watching the ones about football, even college football, like, and I'm not talking like the U, I'm talking like Brian and the Boz, You Don't Know Bo, you know, just going back to the 80s and watching how violent the game was, and how Brian Bosworth would just pick up and body slam a quarterback or a running back. And you're just like, you would be thrown out of the league these days. He wouldn't have made it to the pros. He'd have been labeled a problem player, serious. And that'd have been the end of him.
You might even be, you know, going to court over some of these hits.
Now, see, that's what I'm waiting for to happen in the NFL, to be honest with you. I'm waiting for that, because it's already happened in the NHL twice.
Bertuzzi, right?
Yeah, didn't Bertuzzi go to court? Yeah.
And Marty McSorley on his hit.
Yeah.
With his stick on Donald Brashear. Yeah, both of them found themselves in criminal court. So, yeah, I'm kind of waiting for it. to be honest with you, I don't know if it's because they have to sign some sort of waivers or something. I'm surprised there hasn't been civil cases for people whose careers have been ended or have been permanently injured on the football field. Not against the league or the other team, but literally a civil case against a person who injured them. There has to be something that you waive your right to that in their contracts.
Yeah. Thinking about it.
I mean, in today's sports, we had a guy thrown out of a joint practice from the Texans for hitting somebody too hard. Come on, man.
Yeah, that's pretty soft.
I understand it's practice. I understand it's a joint practice. I understand everything they were saying. But damn it, since I was 6 years old and even thought to see what a football looked like, I was told to practice like you play.
Well, it seems we switch gears into football, which is fine. Rich, weren't you saying Gruden was talking about how he's had to adjust his entire approach to coaching because of these newer attitudes, let's say?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, the first episode of Hard Knocks aired last week, and it airs Tuesday night. We record Tuesday night, so we will be essentially a week behind. But, I mean, the Raiders preseason is already turned into a shit show. So, you know, I'm sure it's going to be worth talking about. But the first episode, yeah, he literally laid down the law, no hazing of rookies. I can't work you guys out like I used to and I wanted to. If I did, you guys would be in pads doing 2, maybe 3 a days on day 1. If I did that now, they'd throw me in jail. And I mean, Gruden started being a head coach, 20 years ago? We're not talking like this is like, the ghost of Bill Walsh back in the day. We're not talking about Tom Landry here. Being dug up, reanimated to talk about how much of pussies players are these days. This is a guy who started being a head coach around the time Tom Brady came into the league. Okay? I get that Brady's been here forever, but still, it's like, that's how much the shit has gotten soft. There's just no other word for it.
Yeah. Sure, we can look forward to great product on the field in the future.
But that's what I'm saying, man. You practice like you play, and it just, it's not even close.
Well, isn't that supposed to prevent injuries? And it seems like, at least the last decade of the NFL, injuries are on the uptick.
The argument I hear is that players are bigger, stronger, faster. The training techniques have evolved to where they can get more out of their body than the older players used to. And because of that, the hits are harder, et cetera, et cetera.
And my counter to that is, okay, then practice like it in practice. Because you can't sit there and go at it at 25% the whole practice, trying to, quote, avoid injury, and then they get out on the field and go 110, and somebody gets hit for the first time. What the fuck was that?
I'm with you there,
don't want
Rice.
that in a live game.
That's what I'm saying, but that's what I've been saying when people are like, oh, this football team's throwing this game. How? You really think those players are out there playing a team coming at them at full speed, and they're out there playing at half or quarter speed? They'll get killed if they do that. Somebody's going to get seriously injured. You can't play the game that way.
That's like right. You come across the middle, and you catch the ball, and you're like, you want to tap the guy in the shoulder, and they thanks, and they come flying at you like a fucking cruise missile.
Well, it'd be like the equivalent of putting, I don't care, the best high school football team out there against the worst professional football team ever in the history of the sport. Those guys are going to get killed. They're not even playing at the same speed, close to the same speed as the pros are playing at. Even if they're the worst pros to ever fucking play in the NFL. They're still the best of the best that made it through high school, college, into the pros. I mean, there's what? If you're lucky, every 10, 15 years, a high school will send someone to a college that will actually make it to the pros, and that's if they're a fucking football factory of a high school.
Yeah. the 2009 Lions would beat the best high school football team in 2019.
Handily. And it would be
so hard, knock their balls dropped.
That's what I'm saying. It would be ugly on that field. It would be ugly. Even if they played by the rules of today, 2019. Because even 10 years ago, you could get away with shit. 5 years ago, you could get away with shit you couldn't get away with now.
Exactly. And let's talk about that for a minute. Because I'm looking at Antonio Brown at that statement. Coming in going, I ain't playing if I can't have my helmet. I refer all the way back to Eddie Murphy. Rich, follow me on this. When the girls of yesterday would say, stop the car and let me out. No, we'll have none of that. And today, stop the car, I'm getting out. Get the fuck out. That's the shit we would have done back in the day. Antonio Brown would have been like, I ain't playing if I can't have my helmet. Go sit your ass in the stand. See ya.
Well, there's more to it than that. Apparently, he says, and he's not the only one. Tom Brady even spoke up and said he's not thrilled with the new helmets they have to play with because apparently they block their peripheral vision more so than the older ones. So, I mean, if that's the case, I understand. But I also think that he's a little too full of himself with the whole I just won't play. You're not turning down $30 million. You're not giving back money to the Raiders. That's not happening because that's what would have to happen if he retired because of a helmet.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. You know, okay, you don't like the helmet. That's cool. It's like I told my wife yesterday. You might not like the rules, but they are indeed the rules. Well, they should be changed immediately. I totally agree, and you're totally right. But they are the rules.
Well, the rule is you have to have a helmet made in the last 10 years. And the type of helmet he uses, 2011 was the last year that they made that helmet. So he's now on Twitter begging anyone, if you have this helmet in my size, please let me know. I'll give you a game-used autographed jersey. I'll give you something, you know what I'm saying? Like something. So if he's that serious about it, obviously the threat that he was going to sit out or retire, that was bullshit. We all knew that. To be honest with you, have you seen the pictures of his feet?
Yeah. Gross.
That whatever, the Sub-Zero treatment they gave him and shit, and he didn't wear the proper socks to keep his feet from getting frostbite, so the bottom of his feet looked like a snake shedding skin. Yeah, he's all fucked up. I think he was just trying to buy himself time. And the story got blown up, and it went to the NFL. The NFL was like, yeah, we're not taking this seriously, dude. Find a fucking helmet, or just, if you're going to retire, give back all that money.
Dude, didn't he try to, paint his old helmet? What was he there with a can of Krylon? They'll never know.
I think so. Yeah. From what I heard, yeah, it was literally like he had a can of spray paint.
Contact the motherfuckers from some of these Discovery shows with these cars and shit. Hang my shit up, paint it.
He took his old helmet to Earl Scheib.
$29.95.
Uh-oh. Better get Mako.
Yeah.
But, I mean, look, the way he's going about it now is probably how he should have went about it in the first place. But we have to remember, these guys are professional athletes. They're not Rhodes Scholars for the most part, okay? It probably took somebody in his camp going, hey, AB, dude, you ain't got to threaten to retire. Look at the rule. You just got to find the helmet. The last year they made that helmet. So find a 2010 version of that helmet and go out there and play your fucking game. Because if he goes out and he has a career season, how hard is it going to be to him to go to a helmet manufacturer and go, let me help you design a helmet that works for me and also goes along with the NFL's new safety regulations? In fact, if he designs a helmet that does comply with the safety regulations and gives him the vision that he says he had with the old helmets, that helmet manufacturer would be happy to mass produce that for the NFL, because how many players would run and get that fucking helmet? And it's just like any other piece of equipment.
Yeah, quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Growing up, what did you do? What's your favorite hockey player? He's decked out in CCM. That's what I use.
Yep. Gotta go get it.
Remember Fedorov with the white Nike skates? We had a friend. He was all about them white Nike skates, and I was like, they were the gayest shits I've ever seen. Between that and the glow puck, I think I'm at a fucking like the I don't know, like the Blue Oyster in San Francisco or something. Like, what the hell? Are we in the Castro district? What is all this shit? Pucks are glowing, skates are white. Motherfucker comes through talking about, it's raining, man. I'm out of here, man.
Come here, let me check you. No, motherfucker, body check.
But I'm not. You mentioned Eddie Murphy. No, I'm thinking about the Eddie Murphy. He's like, I got to be careful when I fly to San Francisco. I get off, and the gay police are waiting for me at the airport. I'm trying to drive away from the airport, and I just woo, and it's not even a siren. It's a gay guy on top of a car. Woo, pull over, baby, pull over. But no, seriously, he went about it the wrong way. He made himself look like an ass. We all got a good laugh out of it. I honestly think, yeah, the helmet's probably an issue for him, but I honestly think he was trying to buy himself some time to heal up his feet, because apparently this happened to an Olympic runner, and he was out something like going on 3 months.
Damn.
And AB doesn't want to sit out the first fucking, third half of the season?
No.
Over something that because he fucked up and didn't wear the right fucking booties in some cryo chamber or whatever the fuck? Come on now. Come on. And I mean, the fact that Gruden come out and said, yeah, I support him, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, that's where I'm like, Gruden's getting soft. I remember Gruden in Tampa Bay with Keyshawn Johnson. He didn't suffer bullshit easily. So I'm just like, wait, is someone slipping Gruden ecstasy? Like, when did he get touchy-feely?
He is in California now. He's in the Bay Area.
Sporgy. ChristopherMedia.net.
Our business needs vans, lots of vans, and Europcar meets our day-to-day needs all across the country, providing our company with the ideal selection of small, medium or large vans and trucks, and even bespoke commercial vehicles delivered directly to our premises.
From our 22 nationwide locations, Europcar supplies Irish businesses with an unrivaled range of vans, 4x4 pickups, 4-seater commercial SUVs, and double cab tippers. With 9,000 vehicles in our fleet, there's no demand we can't fulfill. Europcar, moving your way.
SuperValue online shopping delivers convenience. And now with €15 off your first online shop over €75, we deliver value too. Or with our free click and collect service, you can pick it up in store, packed and ready to go. Shop online now at supervalue.ie. It's got to be SuperValue.
Water, if we all stop to think about it, is the most essential, life-giving resource we have. We use it in our homes, businesses, hospitals and farms, and share it with every animal and plant on Earth. Yet many of us never give it a second thought. Water is precious. Let's use only what we need. To find out how, visit water.ie. Irish Water. Safeguarding our water for our future.
ChristopherMedia.net.
Sporgy.
That leads into what we were talking about also. So another topic we got to talk about. What Bell did last year, Melvin Gordon and Zeke are trying to do this year.
Holdouts.
Yeah, I ain't going to play if I don't get a contract. One more time.
To be fair, Zeke isn't playing that card. Zeke has not come out and said he will not play. In fact, I believe he came out last week and said he hopes that he wants to play and he hopes everything gets done by week 1. Melvin Gordon, on the other hand, he's pulling Le'Veon. He said he will sit out, he will miss games if he has to.
Well, look, my take on it is this is the most profitable sport in America. If it wasn't for fucking soccer, it'd be the most profitable sport in the world. It ain't going to kill these owners to break off these players what they're asking for. Players want to sit out, let them sit out. Eventually, something will happen, and just like with Bell, someone will trade for him, someone will give him the money he wants, whatever the fuck. But I can guarantee you this, if Bell was the Steelers' only star on that team last season, he wouldn't have missed all season. I guarantee they'd come to the negotiation table. But they felt, look, our team's good enough. We can stick a running back there. He's going to have a career year. Go ahead, sit out.
Yeah, I think as soon as they saw James Conner performing how he was, they were like, all right, cool. Have a seat. We're good.
Yeah. But, I mean, I've said it before, man. You have such a short lifespan in this sport that can end at any fucking second. Not even during the game. Practice. OTAs. Cut the wrong way and your knee explodes. Done. Over with. I mean, and you're 27 and you're retired for something you've worked your entire life since you're, 5, 6, and started playing Pee-wee football for. Now what do you do?
No, see, here's the thing, though. I get that. I do. But they get paid way more than enough, Rich. All right, Le'Veon Bell, Melvin Gordon, Zeke, nobody in the NFL is hurting for money.
Yeah, but you have to remember also this is not back in the day where you could just come in and get as much money as possible because there was no restrictions on rookie contracts. There are restrictions on rookie contracts nowadays. So, yeah, you want me to stay? You want me to be here? I'm not going to play on a lame duck contract with 1 year left. You're going to have to extend me, and you're going to have to pay me to fucking be here. I mean, look, here's
I don't agree with that. That's all.
I mean, that's cool, but I'll tell you this. If it was your ass out there fucking risking life and limb and career every snap at practice, every snap during the game, and you were like, I'm getting paid fucking way less than my performance dictates I should be paid, and you held out, I'd be like, I understand why you're doing it.
Yep. I'm the exception, Rich. I'm the exception. Because I wouldn't play if I didn't love the game still.
Nah. Really?
And there are people
you got bills?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Chris, I've got bills, but so do they. And they have way more than their bills.
Hey, market sets the price.
All I'm saying is their grandchildren's children are going to be set with the bills.
They wouldn't be asking for it if they didn't know they could get it.
You also got to think of it this way, okay? I've worked jobs where I've been underpaid for what I bring to the table. And when I was younger, I just put up with it because loyalty. And as I got older, I started to learn that loyalty makes you a sucker in certain aspects of life because there's no loyalty to the players from the team, the owners, or this sport. The minute they've milked the last bit of football they feel they can get out of you, they show you the door unceremoniously. Yep. All right.
So get your paper.
So I went to my boss and said, I need a raise. And he goes, I ain't doing it. And I'm like, then here's my 2 weeks. I had 2 days off. I came back. Boom. I had my raise on the third day I went back in. Sometimes you got to play hardball, man.
No, I get it, Rich. I do. But because I had a job that I just recently, my last job, I resigned. My health was taking way too much of a hit. I was way underpaid. I get it. I do. But I'm not making what these football players are making.
It's not their fault that they get paid that, though, Ice.
Right. But it is.
No, it's not.
It is. And here's
really?
The thing.
Are they the ones cutting the checks to themselves?
No, they're the ones that's going to sit out and suck their thumb until the check gets cut.
Let me ask you a question. How many billions should the NFL rake in before they have to pay the players what the players are asking for?
Okay, so let me ask you this. Why is it me and you who make nothing have to pay hundreds to go see these guys if they make all this money, if they have all of this money?
Economics. Supply and demand. There is a demand for NFL tickets.
And to be brutally honest with you, that's why a lot of people don't go to games these days. That's why a lot of people don't pay for the season ticket package. They go to, whatever sites they go to. I almost fucked up. They go to whatever sites they go to and they watch the games online for free. All right? Because it's absolutely ridiculous. As the profits have went up, these owners have turned into billionaires. All right? And, yeah, if they're making that much profit, they've more than recouped their investment. How much did Jerry buy the Dallas Cowboys for? And how much are they worth now? He's recouped his initial investment and then some like a motherfucker. All right? So it's not like this is, I got to make sure I get at least back what I put in to start up this business or to take over this business. At that point, he's pocketing that. That is going into a bank account. It's going into investments. It's going into bank accounts overseas where he ain't getting touched by taxes in this country, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, look, I get to... Every time we have this discussion, I feel like it's not the fact that they're asking for that money. I feel it's more the fact that they're willing to sit out to get the money that irritates you.
That is exactly what irritates me.
Okay, but
I don't care if they got paid $1 billion.
What are they going to do if they go out there? And what are they going to do if they go out there and they keep playing while wanting to renegotiate a contract? The team just shuts down the renegotiation and says, "Whatever, play out your existing contract, then we'll see." And then the player gets hurt. Now they get nothing. The team doesn't take a hit.
That's what you got to do. I can't go to my job tomorrow and say, "Look, we need a contract where I get more money, or I'm not coming to work tomorrow."
Well, that's because not how your job is structured. Theirs is.
There's not a job in the world that way.
They're under contract. They can do that. It's called negotiating.
There's plenty of guys in the IT field who are contract employees who renegotiate contracts when they're sitting there with a lame duck contract and they only got 6 months, 12 months left on it. They go, "Hey, look, if you want me to stay with your company, we need to renegotiate my contract." And if the company goes,
"Absolutely,"
no,
but they can't not do the IT work.
You need to talk to some people.
Yeah, if they're in a union.
No, I'm saying, they might be late on some things, but they can't flat out just be like, "Well, I ain't touching it until I get a contract."
Yeah, they can. If they're in a union, they absolutely can. It's called a strike.
They're already under a contract.
It's called a strike if they're in a union.
That's when the contract's up. You can't strike when you're under a current contract.
Yeah, you can.
No, you cannot.
Okay. I'm not going to argue with you.
You want to go to the table, and you want to go to the table, and you want these demands met. They're not even thinking about, fuck it, I'm striking, man.
When the fuck do you think they renegotiate contracts? They wait till the contract, the UAW wait till the contract expires before they go to Ford or Chrysler or GM?
No. They start it before the contract's up. And when the contract's up, if they haven't met the demands or reached a compromise, then they strike. But they don't just not show up while they're still under contract because the negotiations aren't going well, man.
So even though the NHL has had lockouts twice and 3 times now, and they've locked the players out while their contract was still active because they wouldn't meet the player association's demands. You're telling me that it's okay for the owners to do that legally, not the players?
No, I'm not. I'm not saying that at all.
Well, I mean, are we talking legally or morally? They shouldn't strike while still under a contract. Because if it's morally, then you can throw that out the window. All that matters when it comes to this much money is what is legal binding contract. That's it. And if in your contract it says when it's time for renegotiation, if they refuse to come to the table, you damn sure a union will fucking strike.
In a heartbeat.
While they're still under contract. That's why what do you think a scab worker is coming in? That's why they fucking I mean, granted, this is some old school shit. I doubt it's really like this now. But in our lifetime, it was like this because I worked security for the Detroit News and Free Press during their strike. There were people out there physically unwilling to let people cross the picket line. They were still under contract when they went on strike. I mean, that's what union busters were. People would come out. It wasn't just a political ploy. They would send people out, and there would be fucking brawls in front of the fucking factories and shit. Come on, man. I know you've picked up a history book more than once. You got a fucking degree in this shit. So, I mean,
look, at the end of the day, all I'm saying is there's no fucking way that a player should be able to dictate a contract negotiation by sitting out and not playing.
Why?
Why?
Yeah. Why? Why should they not be able to negotiate what they think they should be able to get paid? So they should just get fucked? Like, think about it this way. NFL, it's your employee. Pay your employee what they're worth.
They are being paid, Chris. They already have a contract in place.
Not if it's going to run out. That's a negotiating tactic.
You already signed and gave your word. Yes, I agree to this contract. Your contract's running out, so the last year of your contract, you're going to just sit out?
So, basically, this is what I'm taking from this conversation. You're absolutely okay with the fact that the owners and the general managers have the deck completely stacked in their favor, and you want them to even have more power to be like, oh, you're going to sit out? Because here's the deal. If they sit out, they don't get paid. It's not like they still are getting paid while they're sitting out, right? Especially in the NFL. The NFL, they only get paid for the 16 games they play. That's how their contract is broke up. It's not broke up over 52 weeks or every other week like a normal paycheck for most people.
I get it. I do.
You don't get paid.
What I'm saying is they already agreed to this many years for this much money. That was fine. So the last year of your contract, you all of a sudden change your mind and you're not going to play for my team after you agreed that you would because you want a different contract with more money, more incentive? You've got to be kidding me.
So when do the players get to have a say-so? Because as it is, when you enter the league, there's a max rookie contract.
In the offseason?
And here's the deal. Take it or leave it, but we still hold the rights to you because we drafted you. So you can't just go, hey, I want more than that. No, it's a max rookie contract. Well, I'm not going to play for you. Well, that's okay. We still hold your rights. You're not going to play for anybody. So your career is over before it began. Have a nice one. If you want to take that power away from the owners and make players literally mercenary free agents to be able to sign with whoever they want, regardless of who drafted them, I could get on board with that. It's going to turn into a shit show. I don't think you're going to be happy with the outcome because you're going to have a lot of guys who you're going to be like, oh shit. Remember how high on Barkley you were with him coming out of of college? Now, if a guy like him, he gets drafted by the Giants and they say, here, we're offering you the max rookie contract. And he goes, no, I want more. Okay, well, we're not giving it to you. Okay, well, I'm going to shop my talents around. Sorry, have a nice one. Well, if there's a max rookie contract, where's he going to go? He's going to get the same contract wherever he goes. You can't get more than that,
Rich.
If this was back in the day when you could go for as much as you could get as a rookie, then go for it.
Right,
I understand that.
That's not what we're talking about here.
No, what we're talking about, because we're talking in circles, is you don't like the fact that these players are sitting out because you play for the love of the game. Guess what? They love the game. That's why they're where they're at. Okay.
Well, also, I'm a man of my word. Okay, if I sign a contract.
Okay, well, let's talk about word. What about the team's word? We'll have you signed by Can't. And then they're hemming and hawing, and no, we're not sure about this deal. Only one person's got to keep their word in this deal?
Because at any moment, the team could show him the door for any reason whatsoever. They don't even need a reason to cut you besides, someone else came in and, you didn't make the 53-man roster. Have a nice one.
Right. And if you're that good and you think you're worth that much money, then take your ass and shop it around.
That's not them shopping it around. That's them being cut because the owners don't have to adhere to their end of the contract because they're not guaranteed contracts. You're wanting the players to play as if their contracts are guaranteed, yet you're not holding the owners to the same standard as far as their end being guaranteed. That's an unfair. That's an unfair, unlevel playing field.
I've never said I'm not holding the owners to their end of the contract. It's not what I said.
The very nature of the way it's structured, they're not held to their end of the contract. They could just cut them for any reason and not have to pay them a fucking dime.
Tom Brady just signed a new contract. He could get cut tomorrow.
Okay, so then he goes someplace else.
But here's
the thing, because in that contract is guaranteed money.
There's signing bonuses. There's shit like that. But how many times have we heard this story? A guy gets cut. A guy retires early. A guy gets injured and has to retire early. And the team goes, we want our money back.
Mm-hmm.
How many times do you hear about a guy gets injured and the team goes, we're going to honor the rest of his contract, even though, there's 4 years, $30 million left on it, and he'll never play football again. But we're going to make sure that he gets the rest of his contract. It doesn't happen.
Yeah, where's keeping the word in that scenario?
Okay, and I'm 100% with you guys. Yes, the owner should keep that end of the bargain.
And I think
100% with you.
Something that gets lost in all this, and let's be honest, the owners need those players. They think it's the other way around. It is not. And you know why it's not? Go sign some of those people from the AAF and see how many people watch. That league didn't even finish. You want players of this caliber. You got to pay for them.
Well, the point is, yeah, I mean, yes, all you're saying is you're pissed, whatever. Fine, then be pissed. Because you know what? The owners are never going to give up the control they have. All right? You're Mr. Anti-Government. You're Mr. Small Government. You're Mr. Stay the fuck out of my life. Anytime you give up a right to the government, you think you're ever going to get that right back?
You.
Well, they've already given up their rights to the owners. They're never getting them back. This is what happens when billionaires set the rules of the game for people coming into the game.
Yeah, but there's no rule that says at the end of this football season, Melvin Gordon can't go play in Phoenix.
Correct.
You're right. And if he's playing on the last year of a shitty max rookie contract and he gets fucking his back broke and he never plays football again, oh well, he just lost out on the rest of the money he was going to fucking make. Playing for a contract that he really shouldn't be playing for.
Now let me throw this at you, because this is exactly where we're at. You just said,
by the way,
if he signs a new contract and he gets his back broke, or he just all of a sudden
if he signs a new contract. I said if you're going to quote me, get it right.
Or if he just decides he found Jesus and left and is never going to play football again, the ownership's not going to honor that new contract anyway.
See, this is the problem. This is the only sport in America where the contracts aren't guaranteed. NHL, MLB, NBA, the contracts are guaranteed. Didn't we have this discussion about a player who blew out his Achilles and he could have picked up his option and stayed with Golden State and made a cool, $30 million sitting on his ass recuperating?
Uh-huh.
He didn't do it for whatever reason.
No, decided to go to Brooklyn.
Exactly. But if he'd have done that, he'd have been within his rights of his contract, because those are guaranteed contracts. The NFL makes the most money out of all the major sports in the U.S., yet the players have the least amount of power. And you're okay with that. And I don't understand that, because it's the complete opposite in every other league. So do you have a problem with guaranteed contracts, or do you have a problem with it in the NFL because football is so close to your heart?
Let me tell you what 100% my problem is. My problem is 2 wrongs don't make a right. That's it. You can't read anything into that. 2 wrongs don't make it right.
What are the 2 wrongs?
The owners have all the power. The owners won't honor the contract if somebody gets hurt, cut, whatever, quits. Okay, that's wrong. Okay, a player sitting out trying to get a new contract on a contract that he's already agreed to is wrong.
It's called negotiating.
Bullshit, dude. 2 wrongs don't make it right.
It's not wrong. It's called negotiating. You might think it's wrong, but it's not wrong.
It's called going back on your word to me.
It's subjective to you.
Right, to me. You agreed to 5 years for this much money. Play fucking 5 years. And reverse. Okay, they agreed to pay you for 5 years this much money. Pay them 5 years.
Yes, I agreed to pay you an artificially capped and undervalued contract for 5 years. I have no problem doing that, especially since I'm going to make that much more money off of you.
Now, see, I refer back to my previous statement. As I agree with you, it's 100% wrong. It needs to be changed immediately. However, it's not. It is the rule, and that's what we have to live by. It doesn't mean you don't go to fucking work, dude.
Well, it does in the NFL. You just disagree with it. And we get it. We've been talking now for fucking 40 minutes about it. You really disagree with it. We understand that. But this is the reality is right. Absolutely, if that's how you want to look at it. But that doesn't change the fact that this is an acceptable way of negotiation in the NFL. Now, if you want that changed, lobby a politician, even though I think they got better things to worry about than fucking contracts in the NFL, to be honest with you.
I refer to dodgeball. It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it works out.
I mean, look, I understand. Look, Dak Prescott asking for what, $40 million a year? Okay, okay, all right. Pass whatever you're smoking, homeboy. I mean, because, dude, what the fuck have you done? You ain't even been in the league long enough to fucking talk about that. You ain't put up fucking record numbers. You ain't led no fucking team anywhere. But if he was the best,
looking at you.
if he was the best quarterback in the league statistically, but he was young and they were still building the team around him, he would have a little bit more solid ground to stand on. $40 million, I don't know, because we all know. See, this is the other part of it. The minute a player gets the most money at his position, the next best player has to get more money than that player got. That's why Matthew Stafford was the highest paid quarterback in the NFL for a season, and then the next offseason happened, and wasn't Sam Bradford at one point the highest paid quarterback in the NFL?
I think he was.
Sounds familiar.
Sam Bradford.
But thanks to Matthew Stafford, Kirk Cousins is like, you like that?
Meanwhile, Tom Brady is the 6th highest paid quarterback in the NFL.
The greatest of all time.
Because we know how Patriot contracts are written. It's all incentive based.
And on top of that, I heard this on CBS Sports Radio this week. He's worth somewhere around $250 million. His wife's worth close to $500 million.
And also, too, he is the type of guy that will say, "Pay me less now. I'll take it on the back end," so the team can go out and pay for, money at other positions to, help win.
Well, here's the other thing. I'm going to put my hat on, made of tinfoil. I highly doubt Tom Brady only got paid what his contract said he got paid.
What do you think? Robert Kraft's giving him stocks and shit?
I'm just saying, if somebody wanted to check his bank accounts and offshore accounts and shit, I'm sure there's some money that
what are you talking about? It's probably like every Tom Brady contract ever. It's probably all in the back end. You get to the playoffs, you win the Super Bowl, here's double what you signed for. I don't think Tom's got to do any crazy back alley, backroom deals to get paid. I think it's all performance-based with that guy.
But see, here's something else that we're not taking into account when we're talking about someone like Tom Brady. Tom Brady walked into a perfect storm of a situation to put him in a position he's in 20 years after he was drafted. All right? End of story. If the Cleveland Browns drafted his ass, all right, and he was sitting there and he was staring in the face a career in Cleveland, Bernie Kosar style, he would be going, you're going to pay me a lot of money to stay in this shithole.
Yeah.
Okay. You ain't got to look no farther.
Ironically enough, still have Bill Belichick.
I mean, you ain't got to look no farther than what we got going on here in Detroit. Matthew Stafford, they had to back up the Brinks truck to keep him in Detroit. Of course, Matthew Stafford does strike me as kind of a loyal guy, which means he's a sucker in this business. But that's a conversation for another day.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he walked into a situation where that team was being built for the long haul. And we're sitting less than, 2 seasons shy of 20 years from his first Super Bowl win. He's been to 3 Super Bowls in the last 3 years and won 2 of them. I mean, could anyone have called that when he came into the league? No.
199th pick? No. Let me ask you this also. What does Tom Brady got to pay for?
What?
Okay. See?
I don't know.
No, I don't understand the question. Like, you looking for an itemized list of his bills, or?
Well, I'm sure he's got to pay for electric and gas and water and shit.
See, you are so worried about what other people are getting in some way in your mind undeservedly, and it's like, are you serious?
I'm actually not saying it was undeservedly. I'm just saying, if Tom Brady walked into a pizza shop, would you charge him?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I know he's got the fucking money.
I knew that was coming.
You haven't met some of the general managers I work for. They don't even give their parents discounts. You get caught eating a pepperoni off the line, it's like, yo, homeboy, that's coming out your paycheck.
I used to serve
one pepperoni? Okay.
I used to serve Ben Wallace's family on a weekly basis. They paid full price every fucking time.
They tip?
No, because we're carry out.
And I mean, on top of that, to be honest with you, unless it's a barter system, like, Tom Brady walks into a pizza place I'm working and he's like, So can I get like that Tom Brady like for the price of on the house? Be like, you going to do a couple commercials for us?
Yeah. Am I getting tickets on the 50-yard line for the whole season?
And the Super Bowl, you know?
And he's like, damn, it's just for a pizza.
You going to let me sniff Giselle's panties? You know what I'm saying? Ruthless. You know?
It's just something. Pizza, guys. Damn.
Yeah, but that's how we make our living. I don't show up at his place and be like, hey, let me get the tickets for free. You know what I'm saying? I brought a pizza. No, what's up? Hook a brother up, you know?
But I'm saying, though, shit like, you know, cars and shit, I'm sure people have given him shit.
Yeah, but what's that have to do with anything? It's because he's famous.
And this is America, where the people who need it least get it the most.
So whereas he's the 6th most paid quarterback, he's not spending a whole lot of money.
What does that have to do with anything? And that's speculation.
I'm sure it is.
Wild and reckless.
Yeah, irresponsible
even. No, not irresponsible.
Listen, here's the deal. You know, Tom Brady may be the 6th highest paid quarterback, but he is worried about winning the most. That's why he's the 6th highest paid quarterback.
That's true.
All right, because he understands that he can look pretty back there with his various haircuts through the years, all right, and all that shit. But if he ain't got a fucking offensive line that can block, if he ain't got receivers that can catch, and if he don't have a defense that's going to put motherfuckers 6 feet into the ground, he's not winning shit. There are other players who come into this league who go, oh shit, I got drafted by the fucking Lions. I better get paid to play here, because you know they're not sniffing a Super Bowl anytime soon. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a minute, Rich.
What, sniffing Super Bowls?
Oh shit, I got drafted by the Lions.
Sporgy. ChristopherMedia.net.
They always say you should seize the day. That's today, not a week next Tuesday. So if you've been dreaming of a new car, upgrading your house, or a wedding that'll wow Instagram, now's the time. And if you've a great credit score, Avantcard's offering Ireland's lowest rate on loans over 20k. Dream big, live now. Apply today at avantcard.ie.
Lending criteria, terms and conditions apply. New applications only. Info correct 10th of July 2019. Source ccpc.ie. Avantcard Act. Trading as Avantcard is regulated by the Central Bank of Ireland.
Sometimes you've just got to get some quality me time. Like right now, when you get away for a few hours to Kildare Village, because we've got hundreds of new arrivals, including new boutiques like Sandro and Maj. Escape to Kildare Village and get front row ready for a new season with a new look and a new smile on your face. A little me time goes a long way at Kildare Village, where there's something extraordinary every day.
SuperValue online shopping delivers convenience. And now with €15 off your first online shop over €75, we deliver value too. Order before 12 noon and you can get your shopping delivered the very same day. Shop online now at supervalue.ie. It's got to be SuperValue.
ChristopherMedia.net. Sporgy.
How's Tampa Bay doing, Rich?
They suck. What the fuck you want me to say?
You got Donkey Kong Zoo, bruh.
Oh, good. We have a placeholder for a year. Then he can go play for the Jacksonville Jaguars, and he could play for the trifecta of sucky Florida teams.
Are you saying he's not the next Warren Sapp?
If he was the next Warren Sapp, we'd know by now. And he wouldn't have left the Lions. He wouldn't have left the Lions, so the Lions were done with him.
Yeah, hadn't he been in the league like 10 years already?
Yes, he was drafted in 2010. 2nd overall.
Yeah, I'm with Rich on that. We know by now. Because he's closer to the end of his career than the beginning.
He was here playing for a team and a city that loves dirty players. That's just all there is to it. We love the Bad Boys. We love the Bruise Brothers. We loved all that shit. Okay? And
what was your first clue?
He managed to fucking let his sister and his people tweet and talk his way out of Detroit.
Yeah, that was 100% the wrong move. I'm not saying Detroit Lions are ever going to be anything. Might never, ever, ever win a Super Bowl. Ever. But this was the exact place Sue needed to be.
Yeah,
for how he plays.
He could have been beloved here.
He was beloved there.
The last player before Barry Sanders to wear number 20 for the Lions was Billy Sims. You go to 9 Mile and Telegraph, that motherfucker still has a barbecue joint people go to.
Dude, I found out that's a chain. They're all over the country.
Yeah. Yeah, but that was like, I mean, that might not be the same building that he opened it in originally, but that one was the first, and it's still going. In a part of the country where they close down fast food restaurants and they stay empty. That doesn't happen anywhere else.
It's true.
Like, we have 2 McDonald's that have sat empty for years now by me, and I'm going, how the fuck? A Burger King that was here for 20, 30 years has sat empty for going on half a decade.
Thanks a lot, millennials.
That shit does not... Fast food restaurants, they don't stay empty like that in most parts of the country, even the most rural part of the country.
You know what's fucked up about that, Rich? White Castle was started here in Wichita, Kansas. There ain't one in a 10-hour drive.
But you got Crystals out there?
No.
Oh, you ain't got shit for sliders.
There are no sliders here in Wichita.
So Billy Sims?
None. No.
What I'm saying, anyways, yes, if he'd have played his cards right, yeah, he may not have fucking won a Super Bowl, but he'd have probably ended up in the Hall of Fame. He'd have been beloved here, and
feared in the league.
Jesus Christ, Barry Sanders, left in a very questionable manner. Not the fact that he left, just the manner that he left. By telling his hometown newspaper that he was retiring and letting them inform the rest of the fucking NFL. Also
from Wichita.
And he's still fucking is beloved here. And not just by the strippers at the strip clubs where he drops a couple thousand a night. Allegedly.
Megatron, same thing.
I mean, so... Yeah, I don't... Sue, there's no loyalty there. You signed a 1-year contract with the Bucs, and to me, I don't know what the Bucs are doing. I'm not privy to their front office fucking plans, but to me, I just think, one, Captain Crableg ain't your fucking franchise quarterback.
God, no.
Okay,
Mike Evans is a franchise receiver, though,
and the clock is ticking.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah.
His rookie season was a while ago.
You need to start putting some pieces in the right place. Talent is going to win you games. To be brutally honest with you, Sue was an afterthought on a team that was fucking on a defense that was stacked last season.
Well, it's still more stacked now.
But what I'm saying is
they got Sue in the middle, and they just picked up a safety from Denver. Do you remember the Denver no-fly zone?
You talking about the Bucs?
The secondary, it's called no-fly zone.
Yeah, but you talking about the Bucs picked up a safety from Denver?
Yes.
Okay. I'm talking about Sue last year on the Rams.
Right.
He wasn't the standout defensive person on that squad. Not even close to it. Exactly.
No, the number one feared in his position, Aaron Donald.
Exactly. So, I mean, great. You went from being a small fish in a big pond to a big fish in a small pond. And you know what? Who the fuck knows, man? Maybe he'll go down, maybe because no one's expecting anything of him, he'll go down there and dominate. But he ain't going to fucking will them to the end of the playoffs. And I mean, even if they do, and I swear to God, Bucks, if he plays out of his mind, has a career season, and you give him a long contract extension, I will pick another team. I swear to God. It's
like Jacksonville's right there. Don't make me do it.
Just don't be that. Don't be that team. Don't get sucked in. Don't. What'd Chuck D say? Don't believe the hype. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, all right. Now, do we all pretty much agree that Dak is not worth $40 million a year?
No, I think he's asking that because he knows who his owner is.
And he's going to get it.
I'm the best thing you've seen since Tony Romo. Well, the only thing you've seen since Tony Romo. But, yeah, and Uncle Jerry's got deep pockets. Let's go. Make with the long money.
Yeah, Matthew Stafford and Kirk Cousins got double that.
No, we're talking 40 per.
Oh my God, no.
Yeah, that's yes. That's what I'm saying.
40 million a year.
Bob Kraft would laugh at Tom Brady if he asked for that.
No, he wouldn't. He would send him for a drug test.
Well,
the fuck?
Tom, I know weed's legal in Massachusetts now and all, but this is ridiculous. Pee in this cup.
Uh-huh. And right now.
In front of me. I'll hold it.
All right, this is according to the Dallas News. Headline is, the notion that Dak Prescott wants $40 million per season was absurd the minute it surfaced, which begs one question. Okay, keep in mind the average salary for the top-paid quarterback tends to go up about $1 million with each new contract. Seattle's Russell Wilson sits atop the current list at 35. Roethlisberger and Aaron Rodgers falling right behind him. What? Before I even read on, what do all three of them quarterbacks have in common?
Yeah, I was just about to say it. A ring.
Yeah. So Prescott wants to go $5 million past Russell Wilson. Why do and this is the question to ask, why do the Cowboys keep beating up on their own players? Can anyone else remember all the way back to July 26th, the day Cowboys owner Jerry Jones confirmed Ezekiel Elliott was not in camp due to contract dispute? Does anyone else remember Jerry saying there would be no daily updates on this going forward? He's correct only in the fact they haven't been quite daily. Jones has argued the Cowboys side publicly numerous times since then, starting with telling the world that teams don't need rushing leaders to win Super Bowls. An odd talking point given that all three of his Lombardi trophies had exactly that with Emmitt Smith. Now, I'm going to say this. I'm not defending Jerry Jones, but I am agreeing with him. This is a different league than it was when you had the triplets. Running backs are not valued these days like they were back in the day.
They should be.
No, some of them are.
Okay, but those are rare air guys. Okay. And whether you consider Ezekiel Elliott that or not, all right, let me give you an example. What did Barry Sanders win the Lions?
A playoff game?
Okay. Do you think Saquon Barkley is going to lead the Giants to the playoffs, let alone the Super Bowl this year?
No.
Okay. I mean, would you consider him one of the best running backs in the league?
Yes, probably the best.
Now, if you couple one of the best running backs in the league with one of the best defenses, best receiving core, best quarterback, then his value goes up based on the people around him. But you're not winning a Super Bowl just based on the fact you got a guy who can fucking make people miss and break ankles.
True.
That is done. It is not 3 yards in a cloud of dust anymore. So that's where I'll agree with Jerry Jones. But he's also Jerry Jones, and he likes to believe his own fucking hype. If he thinks he can just plug any running back in there and have the same results, then he's smoking that really good shit.
Yeah, because the counter to your argument I'll make, Rich, is you could say that about any position. You know, you think you put Tom Brady with the Lions receiving core, he's winning anything?
Yeah. Here's what I'm saying. If Bell would have sat out and Pittsburgh found they couldn't run the ball for shit, I think they'd have probably at least went back to the negotiating table with him last year. But like you said, brain fart.
James
Who's
Conner.
his replacement? Thank you.
James Conner.
Yes. James Conner came in and they were like, oh, well, this is more than adequate. Okay. Fine by us. But if they were sitting there looking at 20 rushing attempts and, 30 yards per game, they'd went back to the fucking negotiating table quick, fast, and in a hurry.
See, I still don't understand why they did.
I believe that.
Because my question to Pittsburgh is, hey, how were those playoffs? Oh, too soon?
You could ask James Harrison the same question. All
right, well, then, to go on, it says, then came the warnings that he would not be pressed into bringing this negotiation to a close even months into the season. There was the signing of Alfred Morris, the most tepid of warning shots fired if you are in Elliott's camp. Son Steven jumped into the mix, reporting that the Cowboys had made offers to Elliott, Prescott, and Amari Cooper that would rank each in the top 5 at their position. That led to speculation from around the media that Prescott had already rejected a $30 million per year proposal, given that Atlanta's Matt Ryan sits in the number 5 spot at that figure. Let's see here. And then they go into, there's all sorts of ways to characterize contracts, total package, guaranteed money, new money. So why it can be agreed that Prescott's team hasn't rushed to sign the Cowboys' offer, we really don't know exactly what it involves. This was all blown away by the NFL Network report that Dak was, in fact, seeking $40 million, not $30 million per year. All right. And then it goes into the blah, 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 the politics of what's going on with Jerry Jones. Why is he so hell-bent on winning a public relations battle with his players? Have you met Jerry Jones?
Right.
And then they go to point out that 2 of those players are in camp and not holding out. And so essentially they're saying that Jerry Jones already won on those 2 cases, so why is he still hammering away at this? Here you go. This speaks to what we were talking about earlier. I doubt I need to remind Jerry or Steven that this is Dallas, and fans still tend to perceive players seeking new deals as the greedier of the 2 sides. There's no question that the salary figures in today's professional sports are enormous. Each recently retired generation of players laments being born too soon. But fans seldom pay enough attention to the fact that the Cowboys and 31 other teams pocket $225 million in revenues each season before selling their first ticket, jersey, or $12 beer. That's enough to pay all their players, all their coaches, and all their training and sales staff. And then it has a breakdown of a look at the top 10 NFL quarterback contracts based on average salary per year. 1 is Russell Wilson, 35, Roethlisberger, 34, Rodgers, 33.5, Carson Wentz, 32, Matt Ryan, 30, Cousins, 28, Garoppolo, 27.5. See? Okay, I'll hold on. Stafford, 27, Carr, 25, Drew Brees, 25. If I'm going to stick Prescott somewhere in there, I'm going to put him between Stafford and Garoppolo.
Yeah, because he's won just as much. Nothing.
Yeah. So here's your 27.5. I'll give you 27.75. There's your offer. Why? Because exactly. What have you won? Garoppolo hasn't won shit. Stafford hasn't won shit. Breeze is probably playing out an existing contract. That's probably he's paid so low. Carr, well, we know about Carr. Cousins, well, we know about Cousins. Matt Ryan's seen a Super Bowl. Rodgers, Roethlisberger, and Wilson have all won them. God damn, wait a minute. I just realized something.
What's that?
Brady ain't even in the top 10?
Nope.
Top 10?
Nope.
That motherfucker must have, like, Mandingo dick swinging because he's with a bitch who's worth double what he is. And she's worth $500 million. I mean,
Rich, that's why I'm saying it's a tinfoil hat theory. There's no way he's not making more money than what his contract says.
I'm just saying, if I'm dating a bitch who makes double what I make and I make $250 million, she's picking up the check all the time. The rest of my shit's going into investments for us.
Ice, you ever heard of things called endorsements? That's where the money's coming from.
I'm talking about from Kraft, dude. There's no way. Kraft had to be buying some cars, fucking something.
Back end, performance-based. Now you're making me look it up.
Well, I mean, Prescott's not sitting out, all right? So immediately there's his biggest bargaining chip out the window. So at this point, he's negotiating in good faith with people who have no obligation to negotiate in good faith. And he's negotiating with an owner who likes to do this shit out in the public and air his players' dirty laundry while acting innocent as a fucking, a saint. And we all know Jerry Jones ain't that. So I don't really see a winning situation for him here as far as getting the money he wants or coming out of this. Getting close to the money, if he gets the money, he's not going to get the money he wants. If he gets close to it, he's going to come out smelling like shit on the other side in the eyes of Dallas fans. And if he doesn't win and he think Tony Romo took a beating, yeah.
Just wait.
Yeah, you can't post no 500 career record, homeboy, and want the money you're asking for.
By the way, Tom Brady can make up to $5 million on the back end of his contract.
And he's getting what this year?
I think $21 million or something.
So that would bump him up to around what Stafford's making.
Yep.
And if Stafford has a incentive-based contract, more. It's more likely that Brady's going to hit his incentives than Stafford. I bet you the Lions are like, Stafford, if you win us a Super Bowl, we'll pay you $1 billion. Straight up. In fact, doesn't his wife have cancer? We'll give you the cure for cancer. Okay, but you got to win. Fuck showing up at a Super Bowl. Fuck making it. You got to win one. And we'll give it all to you. Give you the keys to the city.
Literally, we'll give you the Manugian mansion. You can have it.
Exactly. Here's Matt Stafford's new home, the Renaissance Center.
The whole building.
His parking lot, Cobo Hall. His kid's sandbox, what's left of the Joe.
Yeah. Well, other than that, pack of gum. That's your incentive.
Didn't he do commercials for Pizza Hut? It's like his big endorsement. Was that commercial? Anybody wants some pizza? It was like, oh God.
Oh yeah, I seem to remember that. That wasn't he hawking Ford trucks for a minute?
Yeah. Well, I mean, are you really shocked by that one?
Yeah, true.
That's a case that he didn't even have to roll out of bed to get an offer to be the spokesman for Ford.
True. I always forget that the name on that stadium is a company,
not the family. Yeah. See,
we're just used to it because we grew up in Detroit. Oh, it's Ford Field. Forget. Yeah, and there's Ford, the company.
Yeah, because you always hear about the Ford family. I mean, you got the Edsel Ford estate. You got, Ford Road, Ford World headquarters.
Yeah.
Ford's everywhere around here. Oh. Anyways. All right, well, let's move on because if he gets $40 million.
Guess who's hurt?
Dak Prescott.
Guess who's hurt?
Melvin Gordon?
No. Guess who's hurt?
Kerryon Johnson.
And
who?
Andrew Luck.
Oh, well.
He's been hurt for a couple of weeks. He's got like a calf thing, doesn't he?
Yeah, his ankle.
Are we shocked?
No, but we're just talking about quarterbacks and getting paid and what they're worth. This guy's been hurt more than Matt Stafford.
Yeah, he has a high ankle problem. I mean, at what point do you look at Luck and go, China doll?
Well, I say, are we to the point now we call this guy a bust?
Well, I got to see what happens this season. If he busts this season, then yeah.
How many full seasons has he played? Not a lot.
I don't think he's played a full season. Serious. I don't think he's played a full season.
Look up his stats.
Well, ESPN's saying that they're reporting that he might not even be ready for the start of the regular season.
Yeah, week 1.
Wow.
Yeah, Colts general manager Chris Ballard said Tuesday, we're 3.5 weeks away from the regular season. I'm not ready to say whether Luck will play or not against the Chargers.
Right, and this comes off of the top 100 where the players put him at 20.
Now, I will say we are I won't throw you in this, Iceman. I am guilty of recency bias because Andrew Luck has only had 2 seasons where he hasn't played a full season. 2015, he played 7 games. 2016, he played 15 games.
The problem is he's chronically injured, like to the point where it's like we're hearing about it. Not just injuries that every football player plays with and plays through. Now, I don't know if is that because he's a quarterback and so he's more because his visibility's higher. It's reported on more. I mean, it's like any other sport. If your goalie is constantly fighting an injury, you're going to hear about it more than your third line defenseman. That's just all there is to it. He's a quarterback. That's the most visible position on any football team. So I mean, I guess that's where my question is. Is it just because of his position that we hear about it more?
He had his second best season of his career last year, actually, looking at his stats. He had his highest completion percentage. He had the second most touchdowns he's ever thrown.
Yeah, but he had his touchdown machine.
Oh, yeah.
The Detroit Lions comeback player of the year,
Yes.
Eric Ebron. He just did it a little farther out west.
And I did also forget 2017 not listed in his stats because he didn't play. So, yeah, the last 5 years, roughly, 5 seasons, he's definitely, with the exception of last season, he's definitely had injury problems. But last season it was him coming back from another injury.
And I mean, like I said, I was listening to a preseason podcast that Tiki Barber was on, and he brought up a good point. He's like, look, when they were talking specifically about Andrew Luck, it's like, I don't care how talented you are. I don't care how much of an upside you have. I don't care how much of a team leader you are, a good guy in the clubhouse. If you can't stay on the field, that's part of your job.
Yeah.
And if you can't stay on the field, eventually you will be replaced, no matter how good everything else is. I mean, Bo Jackson was Bo Jackson. He took that hit, his femur got broke. That was his femur and his hip. That was it. It was later. They didn't keep him around for moral support.
Bo didn't know shit after that. Bo knows the pup.
But I mean, the fact that they're calling it a high ankle-ish pain. See, to me, that's very NHL-ish, where it's like lower body injury. Well, that could mean any fucking thing. That could mean a fucking ingrown toenail. You know, what's a lower body injury?
Yeah.
Upper body injury. You know, high
Yeah,
ankle-ish.
when I hear that, I'm thinking, are we talking Achilles?
Are we talking a high ankle sprain that could be played through? Or are we talking something a little bit more serious? You know, I mean, wasn't it his shoulder that put him? My shoulder.
Your shoulder.
It put him out, and he had to have surgery on.
Yep.
So you really don't want him having surgery on his fucking Achilles, if that is it. You know what I'm saying? Like, on top of that. Let's see. Ballard did say at this point Luck would not play in the preseason. The team's preference is for Luck to strictly focus on rehabbing. There hasn't been any talk of possible surgery yet. He practiced only 3 days on a limited basis in training camp because of the pain in the ankle area. He also missed all the
Achilles.
He also missed all the team's OTA and minicamp practice in the spring. There's enough pain where he's not practicing. That's what we have to get under control. Once we get that under control, I think we can really move forward. There's no question he has a calf injury, but the lower part is more of an ankle issue. We get that under control, we can help with the pain.
That's an Achilles.
Ballard says he believes Luck can play at less than 100% if necessary this season. If he can function, yes, he'll play. If this pain is under control, he can protect himself and play good, yes.
Doesn't sound too optimistic.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
If I'm a Colts fan, not filled with a lot of hope after that statement.
Yeah, but when he was coming out of college, he was supposed to be the next GOAT. He was supposed to be it.
Oh, yeah. He's a Heisman Trophy winner. He was the man.
Harbaugh made quarterback. Last quarterback Harbaugh made.
It's going really well for him.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. Stop bragging about that.
Yeah.
I'm not. Believe me, I'm not bragging. That was strictly sarcasm on my part. Don't even get me started, man. Let's wait till they lose to Mid-Tennessee State, okay, for me to start talking shit, okay? August 31st. If they lose to Mid-Tennessee State and you see a mushroom cloud rising, it'll be from your northeast ice and your west, Chris. You know that the shit has hit the fan. Well, speaking of people missing time, Golden Tate, did we discuss his 4-game suspension and what he's supposedly suspended for?
No.
Yeah, we did.
We did?
I think we did.
Refresh my memory.
He got suspended for PED use because of a fertility drug.
And he's been denied. His appeal's been denied, so he's going to miss the first four games of the season, leaving the Eagles without a key acquisition for the first quarter of the season.
You mean the Giants?
Or, excuse me, Giants, sorry. I'm looking at his...
He played for the Eagles.
He's in an Eagles uniform.
Yeah.
That's right, yeah. So, the Giants, looking like the Giants. Isn't it? Okay. Did Cleveland, send its luck to the Giants, and the Giants sent their luck to the Browns?
Well,
because this is just, there's a lot of, how many fucking receivers are injured for the Giants right now?
Right.
Golden Tate's out for 4 games. Corey
Injured
Coleman
or out, yeah,
is injured, and Sterling Shepard is injured. So
and Odell just was like, "Fuck y'all, I'm out."
So yeah, I think Giants are holding open tryouts for receivers. If you're interested, anybody?
Is Marky Mark going to go out and try out because he was in that movie? He's going to be out there on the field talking about feel it.
It's a rumor.
Come on, Funky Bunch, let's go.
He never do that. It's a vision team.
Oh.
But yeah, well, if you are lucky enough to have Saquon Barkley in fantasy football, it's going to be a good year for you. It's pretty much going to be, game plan is just going to be give him the ball, hand off the ball.
Yeah. You're going to turn on the first quarter of a Giants game and Saquon Barkley for another 20 yards.
Yeah.
You're going to tune in later on, and with a minute left, they hand the ball to Barkley.
Well, this is how deep they're going down the, boy, we really hope well. I'm talking about the Giants now. Their owner come out and said, it would be ideal for Eli to play all 16 games this season.
Oh, boy.
Oh, my God.
Really? We're already doing damage control in the preseason?
No, you know what that is? Eli's getting replaced.
Well, see, this is what I think, because John Mara reiterated Tuesday what head coach Pat Shurmur had said on multiple occasions. Eli is our starting quarterback.
Oh, see, he's replaced. We have 100% behind our quarterback. He is the man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, first pick of the season, he's out.
He's done. That sounds like a Cleveland move. You're right. They switched.
Sporgy. ChristopherMedia.net.
Everyone shouts about how fast their broadband is.
We're fast, mega fast, stupid fast, almost too fast.
But what do they say about reliability? Well, Dublin, with Virgin Media, you get both. Ireland's fastest broadband network and 99.9% network reliability. Reliability at speed. See virginmedia.ie.
Terms and conditions apply. Ireland's fastest broadband network as awarded by Ookla. Network reliability. See virginmedia.ie/proof.
SuperValue online shopping delivers convenience. And now with €15 off your first online shop over €75, we deliver value too. Order before 12 noon and you can get your shopping delivered the very same day. Shop online now at supervalue.ie. It's got to be SuperValue. SuperValue online shopping delivers convenience. And now with €15 off your first online shop over €75, we deliver value too. Or with our free click and collect service, you can pick it up in store, packed and ready to go. Shop online now at supervalue.ie. It's got to be SuperValue.
ChristopherMedia.net.
Sporgy.
Hold on, guys. Let's keep this Cleveland train in the station. They haven't played a minute of pro football yet.
Yeah, they have. They play preseason.
You know what I'm saying. There is not a second of regular season ball has been played yet. Cleveland, for all we know, could implode. We could be sitting here a year from now talking about, hey, remember when Cleveland was supposed to be good and they took a big shit?
But it's fair to say, I think we'd all agree that it's pure speculation at this point, it's the new hot bandwagon people are jumping on.
Expectations in Cleveland are probably the highest they've been in my lifetime.
So, I mean, yeah. I mean...
Well, do you remember what LSU looked like when Beckham and Landry were there?
Yeah, that was when Les Miles was there, and they were just killing everybody.
Yeah. And now they're together again in the pros. Not to mention, you got Chubb behind them.
I say, on paper, this team looks it's going to be badass. But, I mean, you know, we've all seen this movie before, in this sport or another.
I will put on a tinfoil I will tinfoil my fucking house and say somebody paid these people not to play if they come out and just...
Oh, we know you will, Ace.
Well, dude, just you got to think all the variables. I mean, Baker Mayfield could get his fucking knee blown out first play of the first series of the first game. You know, there is a ton of shit that could happen between now and January.
That'd be a waste of a sweet, sweet porn stash. Well, okay. Let's go with what a lot of people are speculating, that we can remove Cleveland from the bottom of the trash heap of the NFL this season. All right.
Oh, definitely.
So if we do that, who is at the bottom of the NFL this season?
You know who.
Let's go from worst to best in the next couple of weeks. This is kind of we're rallying the troops here. This is going to be our last volley for the night. So, I know Chris, go ahead, say it.
The Lions, and I need to look at some standings here and jog my memory of moves teams have made. It's been a couple months. Let's see.
That's sad. Lions.
Well, they have mainly moves. Let's see. Lions, Bills, Bengals.
You put the Bengals at the bottom?
Yep. AJ Green's not going to be playing. That's their offense. Denver, probably the Skins, the Bucks, the Niners, and the Cardinals. Those are my picks for the shit pile this year.
Wow.
The Cardinals?
You didn't say. I think the absolute worst team in the NFL this year is going to be the Miami Dolphins. What talent do they have on that team?
They got a new coach.
Yeah. Okay, they have a new coach that's not taking over a talented team. I mean, that's seriously what I'm getting at here.
I just see Miami being a middle of the pack team. You're 8-8. You're 7-9.
Wow. I'm thinking they're going to struggle to get 3 wins. I think they're easily the worst in their division.
Well,
easily. And I mean, it's not like people are afraid to go play down there anymore. This ain't the 70s.
It's true.
You know, I mean, what's the biggest obstacle in playing a Miami Dolphins home game? The heat. These athletes aren't the athletes of, 20, 30, 40 years ago. These guys are conditioned to take that shit these days. They're not plumbers in the off season is what I'm getting at.
Yeah. I don't just for some reason my gut's just telling me they'll be middle of the pack. They won't be, because didn't we try to write them off as a shit pile last year and they surprised us by finishing middle of the pack?
Talk about just the lowest of low expectations.
I say, yeah, doesn't sound like we have a very high bar here, but it is the Dolphins.
Don't finish last. That's the bar.
Yeah.
It's not going to be the Cardinals either. They just signed the Heisman Trophy winner out of Oklahoma.
So they allegedly had the best quarterback in the draft last year too. How'd that go for him?
Josh Rosen was not the best quarterback in the draft last year.
Well, he did say allegedly. He did say allegedly. So
yeah, but didn't they take him 10th overall?
Hold on. I thought he was drafted pretty high.
Baker Mayfield was first.
Yeah, it's number 10. But still, they still took a first-round quarterback last year. How'd that go for him?
Well, no. As soon as they did it, everybody goes, there was a collective, what?
And then, two, who is Kyler Murray throwing the ball to? He's got David Johnson to hand it off to. Who's he throwing it to?
Fitz?
Yeah, 45-year-old Larry Fitzgerald?
Yeah.
You think that's getting you to the playoffs?
Well, it damn sure is going to beat Jermaine Kearse.
We're talking about the Cardinals.
Just saying.
Yeah, Larry Fitzgerald is, wow, he's a lot younger than I thought. He's 35 years old, but still, he's a 35 years old receiver.
Yeah. Still catch the ball.
In the slot. So is that it? You just run slot plays and hand it off all year, and that's how you get to the playoffs in Arizona?
Well, I'm just saying they're not going to be a shit show.
Who do you think's going to end up with a better record, Cardinals or Lions?
Cardinals.
Lions.
Cardinals.
Because I know we went over it, and I basically, I mean, we didn't lock in our picks, but I basically picked them to go 5-8, or not 5-8, 11. Thank you.
They're just going to say fuck up for 3 games.
Taking my ball and going home.
Well, who do you guys think are going to be the shit piles this year?
I mean, I agree with most of the teams you said. Like I said, I just thought, like for me, I got a feeling Miami's going to be just the worst.
You think Adam Gase has turned that ship around?
Like I said, I think it's probably going to be Dolphins, Bucks, Lions. Yeah, I'd put the Bengals down there. I mean, this is not in any particular order, by the way. I'm just saying, like, this is going to be like the bottom. Let's just go 5: Dolphins, Bucks, Lions, Bengals, Bills.
What say you, Ice?
I'm going to tend to agree with you about the Bills. I think they're going to be a shit show.
Well, you don't think 50-year-old Frank Gore's going to jumpstart their backfield?
Somewhere Jim Kelly's going, I beat cancer for this shit? I had to suffer through 4 Super Bowl losses and beat cancer. And I can't get a fucking playoff team before I die.
But that's it, Ice? 2 teams? Everyone else is kicking ass?
You seem shocked by the Bengals. Why that we both picked the Bengals? Why you think they're going to be middle of the pack? I mean, you can't think they're going to finish fucking top of the fucking heap. Come on now. Did we lose, Ice?
Did the ice melt?
He was so angry that I said 5-11. He's like, it's going to be 14-2, and you know it. I guess we did lose Ice. Shit.
Hey, he dropped off the call. He's like, fuck this. I'm out.
Nice internet.
Let's add him back.
Big ass storm here.
Oh, that's right. Forgot about that. Yeah,
All
there's
right.
a blob of red hanging over Kansas right now, and Ice is in.
Yes.
So, did you hear my question to you?
What?
You seem kind of shocked about the Bengals pick for them to finish at the bottom of the heap.
I do, because I got the Bengals sitting at
14-2?
The lower middle. The lower middle is where I see them.
Why is that?
Just because of the AFC. I don't see a lot of teams that can push them far down.
Like who? Like
Did you guys get my picks for the bottom of the pile that I thought were the bottom?
No, we lost you.
Okay. I said the Bills, the Jets, the Raiders, and that's when I said the Bengals are going to be the bottom half of the middle. The Colts.
Oh, so you really aren't counting on Luck coming back, and if he does, being a force to be reckoned with.
No, I do not.
I mean, they went 10-6 last year.
Yeah, but he's hurt again, dude. And from what I'm hearing, like I'm saying, that's Achilles. And nah, in the NFC, I'm looking. The Giants are going to be a shit show. The Redskins above them. 49ers right above them. The Lions are the bottom. Green Bay going to be near the bottom.
Wow, that's a bold statement.
And the Bucks.
Hey, we said pick 5, jackass. You don't have to pick half the fucking league. We got to spread this out over a couple weeks.
You really think Green Bay is going to repeat last year? I think last year is more of an outlier for Green Bay. I mean, like, just
Mike,
look at
well,
Rodgers' career. What's he more likely to do?
It's the same question to you. Who do they have?
Devontae Adams, who's arguably going to be the best receiver in the league this year. But, yeah, who's running the ball? Aaron Jones? Maybe. But also, they have this guy in their team called Aaron Rodgers. So as long as he's out there, they got a shot.
No, they do have Aaron Rodgers, you're right. But he has nobody to throw to. He has one. Double cover him. Detroit tried that, remember? His name was Megatron.
I don't know. I don't see Green Bay being shitty 2 years in a row. I just don't.
Dude, who did they have on defense?
Nobody. That was the problem.
Clay Matthews.
Yeah, I said nobody. That was the problem.
Right. Clay Matthews and Julius Peppers got off of PEDs, and next thing you know, they can't fucking stop a thing. So you got Aaron Rodgers. Who fucking who? You're not going to stop the other teams.
I don't know. Dude, it's Green Bay.
Well, here's the thing, though. It is Green Bay. But it's Green Bay who lost to the Detroit Lions at Lambeau Field. That doesn't happen.
True.
That was such a big talking point last year.
Yeah, but again, we're back to an outlier. What was that, like the first time in 25 years the Lions have won there? Fits in with the outliers.
And they haven't made any changes that's going to stop that from happening again. I mean, that's great. You got Aaron Rodgers, one of the best.
What do you mean? They got a new coach.
That's great, but he can't come out there and play for them.
True. But again, it's Green Bay.
Yeah. They don't have a line that protects Rodgers like they used to. They don't have a back they can hand off like they used to. They don't have 2 or 3 or 4 options for Rodgers anymore. They don't have a feared defense anymore. They're just in a rebuild mode. Yeah, you got Aaron Rodgers. Woo, okay. That's like me you telling me, yeah, but you got Eli Manning, 2-time Super Bowl winner. Woo fucking who? And he can't stand up long enough to throw. And when he does this to the other team.
He still won two Super Bowls.
Yeah, in a long time. I've forgotten.
Yeah, it has been a while. Yeah, I am looking over Green Bay's roster here, and yeah, it doesn't look like they've really added anybody of note. But to me, that X factor is your Green Bay. Like,
yeah, but for the last 2 seasons, they've had losing seasons.
But say they're going to be one of the worst?
Yes, they are in a rebuild mode. They are not trying to win anything right now.
It's bold strategy, Cotton.
Yes, the team formerly known as the Green Bay Packers are in full-on rebuild mode.
Watch, they go 16-0.
So wait a minute, hold on, time out. You're calling it that the Packers are in full rebuild mode. Tell me from top to bottom how you see the NFC North finishing.
Is this for both of us or for ice?
This is for ice.
Bears, Vikings, Lions, Packers.
He's going all in, man. He's going all in.
Wow. I'll say it again. Wow. You're picking the Packers to finish last?
Yeah.
Under the Lions?
Yes. The Lions, as bad as they are going to be,
that's what I think of that.
Have made some sort of moves to give some breathing room to some of their players. The Packers have not. The Packers are living with the ghost of Aaron Rodgers. They will not. They can't protect him. They don't have the manpower to protect him.
So when the Packers skull fuck us, what's going to be your reasoning there?
I gave too much credit to the Lions' moves.
We'll see. And I like the fact that I could say we'll see, because we are less than a month away from football.
Mm-hmm.
Where it counts.
This is what I love about this part of the year, doing this show. Like, eventually, someone will shake a key, like a keychain, that'll get Ice's attention and hold it, and he'll make just such an obtuse point that Chris can't handle it. And so I get a 30-minute break while they just go back and forth at each other.
Oh, I had my break earlier when you two went back and forth about salaries.
No, it's but it happens definitely more between you two and football than it. Or what happens the most is you two go at each other. What happens the next most is me and Chris team up on Earl. And then what happens the very least is that Earl's just like, okay, whatever, okay. Where he's just like, I'm not even going to bother to argue, man. Whatever.
Well, if I make a valid point and you just blow it off, because you can't come around it, then yeah, okay. But
let's check. We're going to go to the books. Let's check the books. Valid points made by Ice over a 3-year period. 14-2.
I just now made one.
The New England Patriots were throwing those games just to piss off the NFL over Deflategate.
And you're telling me they didn't?
See?
Just to build up Tom Brady, by the way, not piss off the NFL.
Oh, shit.
But I just made a valid point. Green Bay hasn't made any moves to shore up their team from last year. For the past 2 seasons, they've had losing seasons for the first time in their history, or at least recent history. The Lions, as bad as they are going to be and as bad as they have been, have at least made a couple of moves that I'm like, well, that could be work. That might work.
Like?
But it will work against somebody. Well, like getting a corner, signing another defensive tackle.
You don't think Green Bay's done any of these things? Or is it just because there's people you haven't heard of, it didn't happen?
It's people I have heard of and know that they're not big signings. They're filling spots. They're rebuilding.
See, all of the Lions moves in the offseason have just... I've greeted them with a big yawn. All right, great.
No, but that's my point, too. The Lions moves will work against a team like the Bills, a team like Green Bay, hell, even a team like Tampa Bay. But they're not going to be anything worth... once they come up against Minnesota and Bears, they're going to go down.
Man, you just have all your eggs in this Green Bay is going to suck basket. I hope you're right.
It's not that they're going to suck. They just aren't ready to come back like they used to be. They just don't have it. Flat and plain. When you think Green Bay, you're thinking Aaron Rodgers, but what you're not thinking about is who Aaron Rodgers was throwing to, who he was throwing behind, who was blocking for him. Like T.J. Lang, no longer there. All of their linemen that used to be there.
Yeah, and he came to the Lions and did a bang-up job.
No, he didn't. But when he was with Green Bay, he did. He was in the prime. Lions get the end result of everybody's career. We've talked about that at nauseam. But Green Bay has given up all of the players that made them Green Bay.
No, because they got old.
Exactly. They have to rebuild now.
The days of Donald Driver are long fucking gone, buddy.
Right. Bubba Franks, Donald Driver. I could do this all day. They're gone. Aaron Rodgers is a shell of what Aaron Rodgers used to be. Because he can't, again, it's an Eli scenario. He can't stand long enough to throw.
Well, no, you're going to really sit here and compare him to Eli Manning?
No, I'm going to compare his team to Eli Manning's team. No, he is much more of a better quarterback than Eli Manning ever will be.
I think we're going to have to agree to disagree on this one, Ice.
What? Hey, proof's in the pudding. That's why they call me Ice. Because towards the end of the season, I'm going to say, I called it.
I'm not going to sit here and pronounce the Green Bay corpse dead quite yet. We'll let you make that call.
Then tell me who do they got other than Aaron Rodgers?
They have a new coach. They got rid of a lot of their dead weight in their receiver core.
I've been kind of sitting on this, debating whether to bring it up because I cannot remember who said it, but it was one of the CBS Sports guys. There was a consensus on one of their CBS Sports radio shows agreeing with Ice on this one. In fact, they said pretty much that they feel that this is going to be Aaron Rodgers' last year in Green Bay, that he's wore out his welcome. And they pointed to Green Bay has had a fairly long, granted not, now this I'm not saying this is how I feel, I'm just telling you what they said, has had a fairly long, period of success. Obviously not to the extent that like Patriots have, but, and they managed to switch quarterbacks and go from one Hall of Famer to another, something that's very rarely done. And they just think that Rodgers is not going to be able to deal with the team as it's set up this season. And he's going to basically pout his way out of Green Bay. And why they said that is because they feel Green Bay is in a soft rebuild. Not full on, like you said, Ice, but I think that was them parsing language, to be honest with you. Rebuild's a rebuild.
Pretty much. And that's the truth. You know, one more time, there is nobody in Green Bay that made the Green Bay Packers of old, the ones that were feared.
Yeah, there is. He's at quarterback.
No, he's not. That is a shell of Aaron Rodgers, Hoss.
But are you saying that because you think Aaron Rodgers is done, or are you saying that because you don't think Aaron Rodgers has the team around him to do what he needs to do? Or do what he's capable of doing?
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. I think his son has started to set, and I think the team just isn't giving him enough to help him. Aaron Rodgers came in at a time when he had people in places to work with. He came in under Holmgren. He went through Mike McCarthy, and they had things in place to help that man. And when he takes the field this season, those things aren't there.
Is that Thor agreeing with you?
Somebody agreed with me. A lightning bolt just came down.
All right, well,
we'll see.
It's one of those things. It's you got to look at it and just understand that it's, time. And that's just it. I've looked at Green Bay for years and years and years. I absolutely loved the Brett Favre era. Loved the gunslinger mentality. Kid was just crazy. And then Aaron Rodgers, some of the passes he's made, I'm like, okay, that just can't happen in a football game. And it did. But when I'm talking about it, I'm talking about, years ago, like decades with an S, just like the Red Wings, been in the playoffs 25 fucking years. It's a quarter of a fucking century. Time runs out for everybody.
Oh, shit. We got Ice giving his undergraduate philosophy paper. He's reading it on the podcast. Oh, shit.
Time waits for no man.
All right, well, before you start saying, once more into the breach, dear friends, I think we should probably wrap this up. You start...
That's not what your team can do for you, but what you can do for your team.
I was going to say, you start quoting Shakespeare. I don't know if I can handle it.
I'm going to do it in the country way. If it's going to be, then let it be. Baby, just let it be.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right.
Just ride with it. Ride with it.
All right.
See what I was trying to avoid?
Yeah.
See where this thing goes.
Yeah. Well, you can go to Twitter and follow us at Sporgy Podcast. You can email us, sporgy@ChristopherMedia.net. We are on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spreaker.com, Spotify, ChristopherMedia.net, anywhere you get podcasts. Football's back. So are we. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next week.
All right, later, guys.
Peace out, y'all.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
They always say you should seize the day. That's today, not a week next Tuesday. So if you've been dreaming of a new car, upgrading your house, or a wedding that'll wow Instagram, now's the time. And if you've a great credit score, Avantcard's offering Ireland's lowest rate on loans over 20k. Dream big, live now. Apply today at avantcard.ie.
Lending criteria, terms and conditions apply. New applications only. Info correct 10th of July 2019. Source ccpc.ie. Avantcard Act. Trading as Avantcard is regulated by the Central Bank of Ireland.
SuperValue online shopping delivers convenience. And now with €15 off your first online shop over €75, we deliver value too. Or with our free click and collect service, you can pick it up in store, packed and ready to go. Shop online now at supervalue.ie. It's got to be SuperValue.
ChristopherMedia.net.
If you like this show, please tell a friend. Please make sure to rate and comment on all your favorite Christopher Media shows. Please follow us on Twitter and like and share us on Facebook. You can subscribe to all ChristopherMedia.net shows for free on ChristopherMedia.net. Thank you for listening, and thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Hey, Cousin Sal here, bringing you an exclusive FanDuel Sportsbook offer for the big game. All new users are getting an exclusive 55-1 odds boost on either team to win the big game. Max bet $5. That means you could turn a $5 bet into $275 if your pick wins. Sign up today at FanDuel.com/Sal.
21 plus and present in New Jersey. New users only. Must wager on designated boost market. $10 first deposit required. Max bonus $275. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, Cousin Sal here, bringing you an exclusive FanDuel Sportsbook offer for the big game. All new users are getting an exclusive 55-1 odds boost on either team to win the big game. Max bet $5. That means you could turn a $5 bet into $275 if your pick wins. Sign up today at FanDuel.com/Sal.
21 plus and present in New Jersey. New users only. Must wager on designated boost market. $10 first deposit required. Max bonus $275. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.